From the Dakota Dome in Vermilion, welcome to coverage of the South Dakota High School Activities Association State Football Championship Weekend. If the other 6 games are anything like Game 1, this will be a weekend for the ages in South Dakota. Hello, everyone. A gracious good afternoon to you, along with Steve Toom. I'm Gary Ellenbolt. The Gregory Gorillas, unbeaten on the season, taking on a Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central Blackhawk squad with just 1 loss. That to a team that has already played in the state final. That would be the Warbirds of Wolsey-Wessington. The Gorillas have been a fixture in the state playoffs in the past, winning an 11-man title in 1997 and coming short over the past few years. But Brian Allmendinger bringing another very good team to the Dome, Steve.
Yeah, the Gorillas come in unbeaten, and they came in actually not as the number 1 seed, but the number 2 seed in the playoffs. And Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central came in with just that 1 loss, but they have cruised through the playoffs as well. And Arlington, who was the number 1 seed, they got bumped out in the second round of the playoffs. That kind of cleared the way for the Blackhawks, who have a very solid team in their own right. Should be a great game today between the Gorillas and the Blackhawks.
There is some history for both these coaches in the tournament. We'll tell you more after we take a break. We're about 20 minutes away from football here in Vermilion. You are watching South Dakota State High School Football Championships on member-supported South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Back at the Dakota Dome in Vermilion, a thrilling Game 1 of the 7-game weekend at the State Football Championships. It was the Howard Tigers getting the state title 32-20 in the 9A championship game over Wolsey-Wessington. A game where the defenses took over when a lot of people thought that the defenses would not take over, that it would be basically an offensive show. There you see Tucker Kingsbury warming up for the Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central Blackhawks. We will refer to them as Blackhawks most of the way here, as they wear the colors of all of the schools in the conglomeration. So their colors technically black, white, red, and blue. There you see the southeastern South Dakota location of Woonsocket and Wessington Springs and Forestburg. That's where the 3 schools are located. They still have their schools, but they co-op for football. 38 in Woonsocket, 46 in Wessington Springs and Sanborn Central. And their mascot, the Blackhawks, since they didn't want to be the Rebels or the Wessington Springs or Woonsocket nickname. They had to pick one, and it was Blackhawks.
And they've had a solid year, coming in at 10-1. We mentioned their only loss came in the last game of the regular season, that to Wolsey-Wessington, a barn burner of a game at 44-42, but they beat Kimball White Lake. That was a playoff team. Rolled through their schedule, shut out Hitchcock-Tulare and Highmore Herald and Corsica Stickney 3 weeks in a row, and then again suffering that only loss at the end of the season. In the postseason, they defeated Platte Geddes Dakota Christian 60-16. Then it was Elkton Lake Benton 42-14, and Kimball White Lake, who they opened up the season with, they blanked them 32-0 in the playoffs to get here to the Dakota Dome.
Of years that there has not been a Selland involved in a Blackhawk state championship team. 4 or 5 graced the squad for girls basketball the past couple of seasons. Let's take a look at the Blackhawks and their 2014 season. Get to know the area a little better as we continue with our pregame programming from the Dakota Dome.
It was an exciting win for us. The Blackhawk players, I think a year ago, we got knocked out of the playoffs by Kimball White Lake. And the guys that we had coming back, they dedicated themselves, and they didn't want that to happen again. And they started working last November, a year ago, in the off season and all through the winter and through the spring and through the summer. We had a really good summer of camps and workouts, and that work continued through the season. And it's just very gratifying to see all that work and see all those kids put all that work in, and then it pays off. And in this and a chance to go to the championship at the Dakota Dome. I think a lot of people, rightfully so, up to this point has probably thought about our number one guy, Austin Messmer, and Austin Messmer is our number one guy. You know, he's the main player. He can do a lot for us, and he did a lot for us tonight, and we wouldn't be here without him. You know, he's our leader, but I think we found out, you know, he can make some plays through the air, and I think we found out we got guys like Landon Ochsner and Tucker Kingsbury in the backfield and Jared Besham that are just as explosive. But it all starts with our line. You know, without our line, we wouldn't be where we're at. And you know, with Chase Von Eye and Garrett Larson and Brady Teedy, you know, those three linemen on defense, I mean, they controlled the game tonight, and they were the big reason we were able to get a shutout. Well, we don't know a lot about Gregory. You know, probably a little bit different than us. I think they like to spread it out a little bit more, throw it around a little bit, and they run a lot out of the spread. They have a lot of athletes, but you know, they got a really good program down there, and you know, they've been right in the thick of things for the past few years, and it finally broke in to get to the Dome. So, you know, they're gonna be very athletic. It's gonna be a tough challenge, but I think our kids have proven we've been able to rise up to those challenges throughout this year. So we're looking forward to it, and it should be a great game.
There you get a look at the Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central Blackhawks. I always double clutch a little bit when we talk about all of the teams or all of the towns that make up this co-op football program. We're about 15 minutes away from getting started at the Dakota Dome. Gregory, the Gorillas, and the Blackhawks coming up. Let's take a break and continue with our pregame programming from Vermilion. You are watching coverage of the South Dakota High School Activities Association State Football Championships on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Sports Championship is underwritten by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Mid-Continent Communications, and by Dakota Bank.
Welcome back to the Dakota Dome. The final countdown, as you might hear, rocking through the dome on this Thursday afternoon. This will wrap up the Thursday afternoon session of the State Football Championships. The 11A game coming up tonight as the Dell Rapids Warriors and Madison Bulldogs will be meeting in a rematch of the first game of the season. There you see the quarterback, Kurt Brown, for the Gorillas. Just putting on his helmet, number 15 getting ready to go. Vomachka, another factor in the Gorilla offense as well. They have been here before. It has been a tradition-laden program, of course, in Gregory, South Dakota, right in the southern side of the state in Gregory County, not too far out of Winter. And there is their mascot, the Gorilla. We make their trip via that really impressive map. There is Gregory High School. They've been called the Gorillas ever since a football coach a long time ago said, our guys look like gorillas. 89 the enrollments, 9 through 11, and red and white the colors. They will be in all red with the red helmets and the red pants on this Thursday afternoon for the 9AA championship against the Blackhawks of Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. We've been able to put together packages on most of the teams here for the state football championship. You'll see Gregory's in a bit, but look at how they have run roughshod over most of their opponents, coming up with 3 shutouts in the season and nearly 5 as they had Scotland and Andy Central with 6 points each. Colome and Avon scoring 8 points. Their playoff run like this, they defeated Clark Willow Lake, then defeated Lyman in the quarterfinal 59-0 and got a 31-8 win over Dual in the semifinal in Gregory. Brian Almendinger, the head coach, has also served with the National Guard in his time, and we thank him for his service. If you have been in the military with Veterans Day just a couple of days past, we thank you for yours as well. 424-42 is how Gregory has outscored its opponents in the season. And again, 3 shutouts in the regular season. They're big. They got a lot of things going on.
And let's find out a little bit more about the Gregory Gorillas.
We were able to establish a run game pretty well, and You know, usually we hit a lot of home runs, you know, on our offense, but last night was more of a ball control situation, and they put some great defense on us, and you know, we're able to hit a couple big ones there, and we gave up an early touchdown, you know, and fell behind 8-0, but you know, the kids come back and did a tremendous job shutting down probably one of the best running backs in the state, you know, one of the best, in that Lance ID from Duo. And it was all around, it was a very good game. Well, Kurt Brown, our quarterback, you know, we always depend on him to run our offense. But, you know, to be honest, every week, you know, it seems like there's, you know, about 10 different guys that do something during the point of the game. And it has been a true team effort all year. You know, Kurt running the offense at quarterback is obviously critical, but, you know, just a ton of guys, offensive line has to do their job, and receivers have to run good routes and make good blocks. And Jonah Beck, you know, has got to run well, and we have to take care of the football. We're 11-0 right now, going into the championship game, and kind of clicking on all cylinders, really, the offense and the defense as well. Just playing phenomenal, and special teams as well. So, you know, we've got one more. We have a great group of seniors this year, and they've just been a pleasure to coach and be around. It's been fun. I know they're a really good football team as well. I mean, they have the Kingsbury kids up there, and really good players. Messmer kids, really good players as well. Big, physical. So we're expecting a very good game, and certainly have our work cut out for us. But it's a championship game, so you would expect nothing less out of that. So it should be fun.
Head coach Brian Allmendinger of the Gregory Gorillas will take a quick break and come back with more of our pregame programming from Vermilion on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Back at the Dakota Dome, getting ready for the 9AA Championship. One of the communities in the Woonsocket-Wessington Springs Sanborn Central School District has really been through the ringer in 2014. A devastating tornado, and they're kind of using the football team as a rallying point to feel better about things from the aftermath of the tornado. Our Chad Anderson put together a package on the tornado and the efforts in the Blackhawks. Let's watch.
Last Saturday night, on a crisp November evening, the Blackhawks from Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central advanced to the 9AA championship game by defeating the Wildcats from Kimball White Lake. That moment was more than a victory on the football field. It was a chance for a community to forget the devastating tornado that passed through the town just 5 months earlier.
And we just kept listening to the radio, and all of a sudden you hear a tornado just crossed Highway 34, it's going to be a hit, and then the power went out.
It was one of the worst experiences I've ever had.
You could hear things moving above you and think glass shattering, and that was the scariest part.
It was complete devastation. It was, I mean, debris all over, a lot of unknown factors.
All of the people were outside, they were milling around, and everyone was dazed and stunned.
The block next to me, houses were gone. The other way, houses were mangled. Our house, windows, glass everywhere.
We had 2 coaches that lost their house, you know, and we had another player, one of our players, sophomore player, they've had to evacuate, leave their house. They had to live, you know, in a camper and stuff.
Governor Dugard came in and brought the South Dakota Army National Guard with him, and they closed the town down, and then they helped with all the cleanup, and when they left, our town was ready to be rebuilt again.
This neighbor's house might have been gone, but they were helping their neighbor pick up the pieces that were left from their homes. It was an unbelievable sight, and kind of what I firmly believe is Wessington Springs.
Even those kids from Woonsocket and Sanborn that did not have maybe even ties besides knowing us, you know, they came over here and we did a couple of days of cleanup where we just walked in different places and cleaned up, and they were more than willing to help do that.
In all, there were around 50 homes and businesses directly affected by the June 18th tornado. Despite the widespread devastation, there were no casualties, just some bumps and bruises, which is directly attributed to the swift action of emergency responders.
We all call them the local heroes because they did so much prior to, during, and following the tornado that they are responsible for saving lives. A lot of really good things were done by a lot of really good people.
5 months later, homes and businesses have been rebuilt and others are under construction, which has helped with the healing process. On this night, the town wasn't thinking about that terrible evening in June. They came together once again to help support their football team.
In a small town, your high school teams are kind of what bring a community together.
And we are back. What a triumph of South Dakota spirit from Wessington Springs. Our thanks to Chad Anderson. In 1 minute, we'll bring you football from the Dakota Dome on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. The 9AA championship in the wings from the Dakota Dome. Football just a couple of minutes away. Let's get the party started with the public address announcer at the Dakota Dome, Joe Van Goor.
Football fans, once again, welcome to the Dakota Dome in Vermilion and the South Dakota Class 9AA State High School Football Championship game between the Blackhawks of Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central, and the Gorillas from Gregory High School. The South Dakota High School Activities Association and its corporate partners, Sanford Health, First Premier Bank, Premier Bank Card, First Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard supports good sportsmanship in all activities. Remember that with good sportsmanship, everyone is a winner. Much too often, we are exposed to the examples of poor sportsmanship. That's why the South Dakota High School Activities Association is sponsoring a statewide effort to promote good sportsmanship in our schools. You can be part of this effort by displaying good sportsmanship during the state football championship game. At this time, let's introduce the cheerleaders for the Blackhawks of Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. Nisa Westby, Marina Parks, Dana Opsal, Michelle Sarda, Ashley Fry, Carolyn Groves, and Summer Schooler. The cheer coaches are Chelsea Wenzel and Kylie Pauley. And now leading cheers for the Gregory Gorillas, Jadisa Jones, Kristen Holmberg, Ann Stevix, Molly Schmidt, Bailey Beck, and Molly Gracer. The cheer coach is Lena Braun. At this time, here is the starting offensive lineup for the Gregory Gorillas. At wide receiver, number 89, Mason Jurassic. At wide receiver, number 88, Gavin Thomas. At running back, number 2, Robert Bombaka. At running back, number 12, Sean Kapka. At running back, number 32, Jonah Beck. At quarterback, number 15, Kurt Braun. At guard, number 65, Dwayne Kerner. At center, number 73, Damon Eaglestar. And at guard, number 85, Matt Campbell. The head coach for the Gorillas is Brian Almendinger, assisted by Mike Murray, John King, and Dave Campbell. And now, the starting defensive lineup for the Blackhawks of Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. At defensive end, number 53, Brady Teedy. At defensive end, number 56, Garrett Larson. At nose guard, number 52, Chase Von Eye. At linebacker, number 23, Landon Oshner. At linebacker, number 5, Austin Messmer. At linebacker, number 48, Jacob Fober. At linebacker, number 21, Jared Beshen. At defensive back, number 9, Tucker Kingsbury. And at defensive back, number 26, Cole Wormstadt. The Blackhawks are coached by Jason Kolosik, assisted by Corey Flatten, Ray Ginsbach, Mitch McLagan, Armando Rodriguez, and Cole Kaufman. Ladies and gentlemen, your officials, as assigned by the South Dakota High School Activities Association, the referee is Steve Rounds of Pier. The umpire is John Burchell of Pier. The linesman is Greg Rizloff of Pier. The line judge is Chad Urig of Pier. The back judge is Mark Ulrich of Hoven. And the alternate is Mark Gagne of Pier. Fans, we direct your attention to the northwest part of the Dakota Dome, where repelling today's game ball is Sergeant Kleinsmith of the 211th Engineers Company of Madison. Sergeant Kleinsmith of the 211th Engineers Company of Madison. And now presenting the game ball and a ceremonial coin for Eklund for the championship game coin flip is Staff Sergeant Jason Bain of Huron and Sergeant Bill Souls of Gregory. The soldiers of the South Dakota National Guard salute today's players, coaches, and fans for exemplifying excellence in high school activities.
Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central has won the toss and they elected to defer. Gregory will receive on the north end. College State Cants have a good football game.
So far in this 2014 season, the Gregory Gorillas have run the table, looking for their first ever championship in 9-man football. Sanborn Central Woonsocket with just one loss, but again, history, as their head coach, Jason Klosik, played on the Alpena Wessington Springs team in the 1991 final in a loss to Garrettson. Gregory is a very highly touted football team. They have got a lot of weapons. They're big, they're very fast, and a great quarterback.
And it will really rely on the arm and the legs of Kurt Brown, their senior quarterback. He's thrown 20 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the year, completing 72% of his passes. And he's also rushed for 960 yards, and he's rushed for 17 touchdowns. But don't forget about the sophomore, Robert Vomachka. He has 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards, and over 200 yards receiving.
Jade Vanderwerf and Sean Kafka back deep to receive the kickoff from Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. We're about to get off and running. Hope you enjoy the game of the broadcast. Owen Whitty will put the foot into the football, and there's the advance, and there's the boot. It's a pretty nice kick. Vanderwerf will take it at about the 3-yard line. Here he comes, chugging up to the 10, 15, some room to the 20. Going to the 25, he is brought down just short of the 30-yard line. Very nice run by Jade Vanderwerf.
And some good field position for the Gorillas to start on offense. 2 seniors and a sophomore on their starting offensive line. A lot of seniors on this team for the Gorillas.
They will spread the field, and that's something that Jason Klosek has been especially concerned about. The Blackhawks tend to run the football at will, but can pass if they have to. Brown for the shotgun formation. Has split receivers akimbo. Ball on the right hash mark of the 29-yard line. Man is in motion toward the left side. This will be Brown taking it himself. He's over the 30. He will get to about the 34 before making the hit. That would have been Garrett Larson, the left defensive end.
Simple play, quarterback keeper around the left side. Some good blocking. Tried to cut against the grain. Got a decent gain on first down.
2 split receivers to the left side. That would be Jurassic and Vamachka. On the right side is Gavin Thomas. 2nd down, 4 to go. Ball just outside the 36. Gregory's football. Sanborn Central, Woonsocket, Wessington Springs. The Blackhawks taking care of the toss, but deferring. Here's the handoff. It goes to Jonah Beck. Beck will pick up a yard if he's really, really lucky. Nice job by the Blackhawk defense to come up with the stop. Coming up with the stop of Brady Teedy.
Running play up the middle. Beck on the year. Over 780 yards, 10 rushing touchdowns. He averages about 9.5 yards a carry.
They run a little better than I thought. It's 3rd and 1. Ball at the Gregory 38-yard line. Checking the wristbands for the plays, spreading out the offense. Ball just off the left hash mark at the 38-yard line. Brown calling out the signals in a pistol formation. Sends a man in motion. That's Vanderwerf. Brown will take it himself, and he will get the first down. Has to get to the 40. He is extremely close, but it looks from here like he got it.
Yep, I think he got it. The referees may have to look to the side. Quarterback keeper just off the right guard, and the referee signal first down, Gregory.
So the Gorillas, nothing fancy to start, just some plays up the middle and some side sweeps by the quarterback Brown. And for their trouble, first down and 10 at the Gorilla 40. Just underway, 9AA championship. The Gorillas, nothing. The Blackhawks, nothing. Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. Digging in, 3-man front. Brown shotgun formation, nobody in the backfield. Waiting for somebody in motion. That's Vanderwerf. Brown will take it himself. He's over the 40. Will pick up a yard, maybe 2. He is pile driven backwards. Teedy getting up off the pile. Also helping out with the tackle, Jacob Foberg.
Essentially, Gregory is a team that runs out of passing formations. They spread the field. You want to use the quickness of Beck, Brown, Vomachka. Create some holes, find those holes, sprint to daylight. But Gregory, a team that has traditionally run just a little more traditional Gregory formation here.
And now the backfield akimbo. Jonah Beck will take the football and get to the 45-yard line before the stop's put on him. First guy there was Landon Ochsner from the linebacker spot. Picking up, we'll call it 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down, 2nd carry of the game for Beck. 3rd down, 5 to go from the 35-yard line, 45 rather. Nothing score. First series of this 9AA championship game. 9A winner was Howard, defeating Wolsey-Wessington 32-20. It is rocking in the Dome on this Thursday afternoon. Glad you're along on SDPB television or wherever you happen to be in the Global Village, watching at sdpb.org. Brown sets the play, on play action. He's looking for the home run, looking long, pass is incomplete. Intended receiver was Gavin Thomas, just a little bit overthrown with another hand toward the football. He might have had the reception though.
Yeah, he actually had a second receiver out there as well and kind of threw it in between the 2 men, so pass falls incomplete.
There's the play, play fake.
Yeah, nice play action, good spiral downfield, but you see 2 red jerseys there and kind of threw it in between the 2 men.
Robert Vermachka is the punter for the Gorillas. And back deep to receive the guy who really makes things happen, Austin Mesmer for the Blackhawks. Gorillas line up. Waiting for the snap is Vamachka. There it is. Not great. Got it down. Rolling right side. It's a fake. He gets the pass. Complete. He got it. First down. And a nice grab, a diving catch made by Matt Campbell.
Sophomore, and the fake punt works for the Gorillas as they spread things out. And Matt Campbell, who's an offensive lineman, makes a diving catch as it was a fake from the word go. So Coach Allmendinger rolling the dice, the little pass, the nice diving catch. First down, Gregory.
The Gregory crowd underneath us extremely excited. That was a beautiful fake, and it worked to perfection thanks to the diving catch by Campbell. Receivers akimbo for the Gorillas on 1st and 10 from the Blackhawk 37. Behind a blocker. Here comes Brown. Wants the corner. Gets the corner at the 30. Cuts back inside to the 25. On his feet to the 20. Down 18-yard line. First down and a bonus for the Gorillas.
That's where Brown is so dangerous, when he's able to cut back against the grain. He reads his blockers. Waits for the man out in front of him. Cuts back right there. Got an extra 7-8 yards out of that run.
Put the ball at the 19. 1st and 10 Gorillas. Nice confidence building drive. Certainly helped by the fake punch that was successful. 4 carries, 28 yards early for Brown. Backs behind him, either side. Handoff will go to Vamachka, right side, over the 15. He will get to the 13, probably in forward progress before he's brought down. Jared Beshin coming up with the tackle for the Blackhawks.
You obviously have to concentrate on Brown if you're the Blackhawk defense, but you can't forget about this guy, Vamachka.
Vamachka picks up about 5. 2nd down, 5, give or take. Need to get to the 9-yard line and get a 1st and goal situation. Gorillas just pounding things, keeping it for the most part on the ground. Brown waits for the snap. Still waiting. There it is. Handoff's going to go to Berg. Nope. Fake handoff and a penalty flag down as Brown slips on the turf and goes back to the 16-yard line. Need to check out the flag. Thinking this is going to be on the Gorillas, just checking how the heads are down and that kind of thing. Flag is in the neighborhood of about the 12-yard line. And that was thrown just before Brown slipped and hit the turf at the 16.
Well, the referee's talking to the Blackhawk team captains.
Which would lead one to believe that this is going to be on Gregory.
The center, Damon Eaglestar.
Eaglestar, a big guy for the Gorillas, as he checks in at 6'3", 315. There's a 377-pounder on the Blackhawks lineup. 10 yards from the spot, ball at the 26-yard line. 7:05 first quarter, no score, 9AA title game. Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central playing 5 minutes of defense now. 12-minute quarters, and now an official's timeout. Apparently there's some blood on one of the Blackhawk players, and Jacob Foberg will leave the game and get that taken care of.
Yep, has to come out right away. And checking in to replace him, number 3, that's Dylan Moore.
Moore, 6'1", 160-pound junior, wearing number 3, and he will take his place in the defensive backfield. Split receiver on the right side. That's Gavin Thomas. Double strong set now for the Gorillas, and a bunch of people in the backfield around Brown. There's the handoff. Berg will take it. Nope, another fake as Brown will get over the 20 to the 19-yard line. Little bit of the damage done. They are doing some beautiful fakes into the line with their running back, Jonah Beck.
Nice fake, and it's Brown up the middle. Landon Ochsner, the junior linebacker, with the tackle. Nice hole opened up.
Gorillas got some moving to do. They're at the 19-yard line of the Blackhawks. 6:20, zipping right through this first quarter. This quarter going about as fast as the first quarter in the A game didn't. We had a 50-minute first quarter in our first game today. 3rd down 10, 19-yard line. Back to throw, number 15, Brown, looking for somebody in the end zone. Incomplete. The intended receiver, Mason Jurassic, covered very well on the play by Tucker Kingsbury.
Yeah, pass a little too tall as well. So now decision time here, 4th and 10 for the Gorillas. Protection was there. Brown stepped up, just delivered the ball a little too high.
Keep the ball at the 19-yard line. They will try the field goal. Field goal is on the way, and Lucas Kirkley. He is a foreign exchange student at Gregory High School, and he's going to try to put the Gorillas on the board. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And he got it. Lucas Kirkley coming up with a nice job on the right foot, able to put it up and through. Didn't make it by much, but it looks like a 70-yarder in the box score. 3-0 the score. We'll take a timeout, and we will come back to the Dakota Dome. The Blackhawks get the ball when we come back on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Lucas Kirkley with the 36-yard field goal. The Gregory Gorillas controlling the football for about 6 minutes of this first quarter, and the fake punt pays off as they get 3 points on their other end. Very unusual in nine-man football, and this isn't a diss or a slam on the nine-man game at all. It's just the fact that there's usually not a huge talent pool of kickers.
No, and Kirkley had that field goal. You know, it just made it over the crossbar, but it was good. And I tell you what, when you have a field goal kicker, a guy who can knock down like 30, 35-yard field goals in the nine-man ranks or even in 11B,
yeah,
that is a big, big advantage for the team that has that asset.
Kirkley will kick off the football, and getting deep to receive is Josh Fainer. He's a 5'10", 145-pound junior. He is standing back at about his 13-yard line. We'll see what kind of leg Kirkley has on the kickoff. Gorillas 3, the Blackhawks nothing. First quarter of the 9AA championship game. There's the kick. Not too terribly bad. It is going to go into the end zone. That's an automatic touchback. And Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central will take the football at the 20.
That scoring drive, 12 plays, 52 yards, 6:02 time of possession. Compared to the first game, that's about 3 scoring possessions for the teams, but a nice, sustained drive by the Gregory Gorillas.
SDPB is online 24/7 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and more. Follow us and get engaging articles, inside information, behind-the-scenes photos, and fun facts to sdpb.org. Click on Engage to find links to our social media. On the fake handoff, here's Mesmer on the first drive. He is getting nowhere fast. Pile driven backwards by the Gorillas on defense. Nowhere to go. And on the stop, big 6-footer, 308-pound senior Cole Carter.
The Gregory Gorillas, when you examine their record throughout the season, I think the closest game they had was 31-8 in the semifinals versus Dual.
Right.
This is a team that really hasn't been challenged very much this year.
Second down. And a short 11 now. Backs more or less in the wishbone type offense with a double strong set. Back to throw. Here's the quarterback, Kingsbury. He is brought down outside the 10-yard line. A big sack for the Gorillas at the 9. And coming up with the stop, Matt Neitzel. There's the snap.
Yep, just ran out of time. I think that's Jade Vanderwerf.
Vanderwerf, yes, number 3 instead of number 30.
He gets the sack and the ball all the way back at the 9-yard line. Tough for a right-handed quarterback to roll out to his left when he's being pursued because it's so tough for him to set his feet and throw the football downfield.
Working with the wing to the left side. Backs will split behind the quarterback, Kingsbury. Back to throw, nowhere fast. Going to throw it away outside the tackle box. And it's complete! Pass is complete to the 19-yard line. Coming up with the grab, Dylan Moore, but a flag.
I think the referee blew the play dead, that the quarterback was in the grasp of the defender. That pass, I think that play got blown dead.
Well, we'll see what an incredible catch by Moore. And really, I thought there was going to be an intentional grounding call come. But the receiver called it.
Inadvertent whistle. We'll replay that down.
Oh, boy.
Oh, tough break there.
Jason Kolosik has got to be reaching for the roll aids right now. There's Kingsbury with the play fake, getting out of the grass. That's where the whistle came, and then there was the grab by Moore. Old desperation just about working, but the inadvertent whistle is going to make it 3rd down and 21 again.
Tough break for the Blackhawks. I don't know if he would have had enough yardage for the 1st down. He would have been very, very close.
Yeah.
But if it's 4th and less than a yard, do you go for it this early, this deep in your own territory? Well, we won't know because we got to do the down over again.
3rd and 21 to go. Just outside the 10-yard line. Kingsbury from the pistol. Going back to throw. Under pressure. Pass is complete. It's caught. Messmer has it nowhere near the 1st down, but they're not in as much trouble as they could have been. Gregory's defense able to just get through the Blackhawk line and have really gone after Kingsbury in this 1st quarter.
Set up the middle screen, but that was Vomachka that wasn't fooled at all. He stayed at home and only a short gain on the play for the Blackhawks. They're going to have to punt deep from their own territory.
Owen Whitty will do the punting. He's about 3 deep in the end zone. Vanderwerf and Vomachka back deep to receive. Blackhawks should be giving Gregory great field position. There's the punt. Vanderwerf takes it 38-yard line. He is brought down immediately. Dylan Moore with the stop at the 36. 1st and 10 Gorillas.
Good field position here for Gregory as they force the 3 and out. They get the big quarterback sack. Now a chance for the team in red to open up a lead. They got, they get a 1st down and they're almost within field goal range.
Zipping right through this 1st quarter in Vermilion. A 3-0 lead for Gregory over the Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central Blackhawks. Conglomeration of those 4 towns and some other schools in the area. Alpena, I think Artesian and Letcher are part of that as well. And some other communities. Vomachka in motion to the right side. Here's the handoff. Jonah Beck takes it over the 35-yard line. Dives forward to the 32 before the hit's put on him. That was Foberg on the stop.
Yeah, basically grabbed the back of his jersey and just pulled him down on that run, angling ahead into the left side. Put a man in motion. Always seems to be a man in motion. And there you see, just grabbing the jersey, grabbing him by the waist, pulling him down. Nice run there by the Gorillas.
Beck will pick up 3. 2nd down, 7 to go. Ball between the 32 and 33-yard line. Clock moving with 3:10 to go in quarter 1. Brown, the quarterback, got a man behind him. That's Beck. Waiting for the snap from Eagle Star, and there it is. Rolling toward the left side. Beck on the option. Left. Beck's got it. Over the 30, down to the 27. They'll be very close to the 1st down. Maybe close enough for a measurement, and it looks like we might have a flag.
Yeah, flag was thrown in very late at the end of the play. Let's check it out. There's the pitch. And there's the run, the trip.
Well, it won't be helmet-to-helmet contact or a spear because helmet-to-helmet didn't contact.
Well, they're talking to the Blackhawk team captain here, so this may be against Gregory.
Well, you'd think it'd have to be.
Replay, 2nd down.
All right.
Holding the call against the Gorillas. Came right at the end of the run.
That's a little unusual to have it that late, that call that late, I would think.
Well, it's going to move it back near the original line of scrimmage.
And we'll see if the Blackhawks can capitalize on the break they've been given. Pretty nice pitch. He was going to be very close to the 1st down, but the holding call will negate the whole thing. 2nd down, 11 to go. Split receivers everywhere for the Gorillas. They love this formation, and a lot of times they've run out of it. Wing to the right side. Brown alone in the backfield. Waiting for the snap. There it is. She's back to throw. Looks right side. Pass complete. Beck's got it. 30. 1st down to the 25. Beck to the 20. Out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. 1st down and plenty more for the Gorillas.
You're right. They love to run, but that time just the running back coming out of the backfield. Went about 5 yards downfield. Turned to his right. Brown spotted him all the way. Got it past the offensive lineman. That was Brady Teedy who stuck out his arm. Brown had to kind of throw that ball around the arm of the defensive lineman, but a great toss by Brown.
Nice bit of reaction there by number 15, Brown. 1st down and 10. Play ended at the 19-yard line of the Blackhawks. Gorillas have the ball and a bunch of people in the backfield. Brown behind the blockers, cuts inside. He's to the 15. He's down at the 11-yard line, couple of yards short of the first down. Nice job on the run by Brown, making the stop. Chase Von Eye for the Blackhawks.
And also Garrett Larson in on that tackle as well. Again, quarterback keeper. You see, just grabbing the back of that jersey, pulling him down. Stop him any way you can. If you can't stop him, slow him down. But Gregory's getting big chunks of yardage on that play.
Second and a couple of outstanding ball control offense. Great way to wear out a defense. Run this offense successfully like Gregory. Quick handoff to Beck. He is over the middle, over the 10, close to the first down. I don't think he got it. Very nice stop by Von Eye and a couple of other people from the Blackhawk defense.
From the spot of the officials coming in, he'll be just shy of that first down marker, but with Gregory's strong running game, if they don't get it the first time, you figure even with their good field goal kicker, they'll try to go for it again. But going to be tough for the Blackhawks to stop Gregory on 3rd and short.
3rd and less than a yard to go. Bamachka in the backfield along with Vanderwerf and Beck. And coming in with the play is Gavin Thomas. He'll be the split receiver on the right side. Jurassic's on the left. Minute 18 and counting, first quarter, 3-0 Gregory. Beck waiting for the snap. Some movement, some lining up in the neutral zone, and I think this is going to be a penalty that'll give Gregory the first down.
Yep, I think they're going to get one of the nose tackles.
Offsides, 52, White.
So a 5-yard penalty.
That'll be 5 yards and first down.
What he said. So that gives the Gorillas a 1st and goal. It's been a very good first quarter of offense, and the last thing you want to do as a defense is help them, especially down that deep.
Plays from scrimmage, 16 for Gregory, 3 for the Blackhawks.
And it is hot on the floor of the dome. You got to believe the Blackhawk defense feeling it. And a working motion to the left side. Beck will get the handoff. He'll come right side, dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Gregory. It's 9-0.
Nice misdirection play, and Brown really sold that fake as if he was going to have it on the keeper to the left side. Instead, it was Beck blasting ahead and into the end zone.
Jonah Beck with the touchdown, his 11th of the year. Came into the game with 83 carries for 784 yards. Took Kingsbury into the end zone with him. And the Gorillas are going to go for 2 points here. 54 seconds left, first quarter. Waiting for the snap is Brown. Brown will go. Quick pass left side, incomplete. It doesn't matter if they give him the interception or not. It ended up into the hands of Blythe Anderson for the Blackhawks. Blackhawks will get the ball, 54 seconds of the quarter to try to do something with it. But the Gregory Gorillas drawing first, drawing often. Good ball control offense. And it's 9-0.
There's that last touchdown run. The thing that Gregory does so well, they put men in motion. They have you going in different directions. And then the running back, in this case, Jonah Beck, just ran it right up the middle. But Gregory on offense executing well. I mean, they've just got the Blackhawk defense going in several different directions. And just a great run there by Jonah Beck.
And enough quality people in that Gregory offense, you can't key on one particular player because that's going to give someone else an opening.
5 plays, 36 yards, 2:48 time of possession for Gregory on that scoring drive. They missed the 2-pointer, but they're up 9-0.
Lucas Kirkley will kick off the football for the Gorillas. Back deep to receive once again is Josh Feiner. Ochsner's in the area as well. He's way up at about the 30-yard line. 9AA championship game from Vermilion. 11A coming up tonight. Dell Rapids against Madison. There's the kick from Kirkley. It's a high one, end over end. Feiner takes it at the 10, 15. Looks for some room. He's at the 20, getting pinned up, pinned back, brought down at the 23-yard line. And that's where the Blackhawks will start their just the second offensive possession of the game, and for 47 seconds away from ending the first quarter.
And that's Gregory football. They want to control the clock, control time of possession, and just wear you out. Time of possession, 8:50 for Gregory, 2:16 for the Blackhawks.
And again, conditions that neither team is used to. You're indoors, it's warm, you're in heavy padding. No wind to cool you off. This is The first pass, Kingsbury with the pass. It is good. Messman will have it. He will be very close to the first down. Austin Messmer getting to about the 33-yard line. And
this is going to be close.
Very close.
This may be left foot, right foot, which one the official marks off of. Nice catch. Little slant pattern to the inside. Right on target. And a nice open field tackle.
Yep, made Vamachka miss, and then three guys coming up at the stop.
Yep, and I think they got him just in front of the marker, so it'll be second down in less than a yard.
I don't think that's even a foot. Very close in any regard. 25 and counting, first quarter. 9-0 Gorillas. Kingsbury bringing Uxner in motion from the right side to the left. He'll line up to the side of the quarterback. Uxner on the handoff. He will get the first down and a little bit more as he gets out to the 34, 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central.
And that's their first down of the game. This play took a little time to develop. An initial hit there, but credit the running back. He just kept going forward. That was Uxner.
Brandon Warnke was the guy who made the tackle, but Uxner was not going to go down without one heck of a struggle. We have just about played one quarter, and there it is. First quarter's history in the 9AA final. Didn't mean to scare you, Yankton and Brookings fans. No, it's still Thursday afternoon. We'll take a break. The second quarter from Vermillion coming up. You're watching the South Dakota High School Football Championships on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. First quarter is history, and the Gregory Gorillas having it down to a science after one quarter. 9-0 the score. And Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central going to get right back to work on 1st and 10 from the 35. Kingsbury in trouble. He is brought down again at the 22-yard line. Jonah Beck on the stop. Gavin Thomas as well.
Quarterback just didn't have any time to set up and throw. Had two red jerseys right in his face as Kingsbury looking to his left, but just has to cover up the football and protect it. Another sack recorded by the Gorilla defense.
And they are just not giving Kingsbury any time to set anything up.
No, I mean, he looked right away. His receiver was covered and just had to, like I said, tuck the football away and hang on to it.
Take a look at first quarter statistics when we get an opportunity here. We'll run this play and let Steve share some of those with you. Receivers akimbo on second down and a bunch. 2nd and 20 for the Blackhawks. And here's Kingsbury. He's back, got some protection. Not anymore. Rolls out of the pocket. Rolling right side, looking for somebody. Has Messmer there. Messmer will get to the 36-yard line before the hit's put on him. And the hit put on him by Noah Beck, the brother of Jonah.
Offensive yardage, 106 for Gregory in that first quarter. 3 yards for the Blackhawks. Nice rollout by Kingsbury. Good throw on the run, and Messmer got it. Well, they got back the yardage they lost on the sack. Other stats, 8:50 time of possession compared to 3:10 for the Blackhawks. Brown leading the way on the ground with 43 yards rushing, 21 for Beck. And the Blackhawks in negative rushing yardage.
So the Blackhawks facing a 3rd and 9. They'll send receivers all over the place, and I think someone called a timeout. That will be the Blackhawks call the timeout. First of the game for either team. 10:26 to go in quarter number 2.
And some other stats. Kingsbury is 2 of 2 passing for 12 yards. Brown 1 of 3. And Vamachka is 1 of 1 on that fake punt. Beck with 21 yards rushing on 6 carries. Messmer, he's their main ball carrier. 1 carry, 0 yards. They've got to find a way to get him the football.
Indeed they do. 3rd down, 9 to go. Messmer has been a small part of whatever offense that the Blackhawks have been able to come up with, but Gregory has just been complete, and their defense is really something that you have to appreciate if you're even a casual football fan. They're hitting hard, they're fast, they seem to know every move the Blackhawks are going to make here.
And they're controlling the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
I mean, they are getting penetration with their defensive players, their defensive front wall. They're getting into the face of Kingsbury and forcing him to improvise.
Mesmer will go on the left side. Cole Wormstead is on the right. The back is Jared Beshin behind number 9 Kingsbury. 3rd down and 9. Big play for the Blackhawks. Back to throw. Kingsbury hit as he throws. Looks upside. Intercepted. It is intercepted. Vermonska's got it. He's got some room. To the 25. One guy to beat. Vermonska will cut back inside. Touchdown, Gregory.
Again, the pressure of the Gorillas forced an early pass by Kingsbury. Couldn't really step in and throw it. Threw it high, and Vermonska was back there playing center field. Picked it off, and all of a sudden he had a convoy all the way to the end zone.
One guy had a chance at him, and that was Tanner Kingsbury. There you see the pressure once again. He threw it. Vermonska just had the receiver turned around. There he goes behind the blockers. Here comes Kingsbury. Nice move around Kingsbury, and there's the score.
Yep, Tucker Kingsbury, I think he slid a little bit on the turf there and almost, went a little bit beyond the guy he wanted to tackle.
2-point try for the Gorillas. It is bounced, and a penalty flag is down, but I think Gavin Thomas caught the ball. We need to see what the flag is. You got to believe that's interference on the Blackhawks.
Yep, almost caught the ball on the rebound and hit the turf.
Pass interference, 9, White. Replay the down, half the distance to the goal.
Okay, so you go to the 1.5-yard line. Wouldn't be surprised if Brown kept it here.
Wouldn't be surprised at all. High arcing pass. Going to have his receiver play jump ball. There you see the contact. And watch, the ball bounces in the air. And he almost pulled it in, but just slipped through his fingers.
I thought for a second he might have caught that.
Very close. He had the opportunity, and that was Gavin Thomas.
Backs in the I formation from the 1.5-yard line after the penalty. Handoff is going to go to nobody. Now the pitch will come back to Vanderwerf. Not a problem. He strolls into the end zone and makes it an even bigger lead for the Gorillas. Gregory leading at 17-0 with 10 minutes and 14 seconds to go.
Well, they've scored on an offensive series, a touchdown. They've kicked a field goal, and now the defense scores. On the interception return, nice little option play to the right side, and Vanderwerf just wasn't even touched at all on that play. And Gregory's opened up a 17-0 lead over the Blackhawks.
And they have really controlled both sides of the ball. Had a ball control offense that, Brian Allmendinger's loving to see that because the other team can't do anything with the ball if you control it and keep it from them. And then they have the big play with the interception for the touchdown. Just great phases of the game right now for Gregory.
Yeah, Blackhawks need to dig down deep and rally. Just find a way to get a score on the board. Get that goose egg off the board. Still a lot of football yet to play. But Gregory, right now, they're just firing on all cylinders on both sides of the football.
Lucas Kirkley will kick off the football once again. Got a very nice leg for the Gorillas. Back deep to receive once again is Josh Feiner. Waiting for the advance. Here comes Kirkley with the stride with the kick. It is going to come to Feiner at about the 5-yard line. Is he going to let it go? And it goes off his body, out of bounds. That is still a play. I must not have gone off his body because the penalty flag was thrown. It wouldn't be in that case.
But he managed to avoid the football, and that's a dangerous play with that football bounding around. That bounces to the middle of the field. Remember, that's live football. But for the Blackhawks, it did roll out of bounds, so they have the option.
There was a game in this building. It was a college game, which makes the story worse. When
illegal procedure. Red. Put the ball on the 35-yard line. First down.
The ball was kicked off, and the kick returner basically let it lie at the 3-yard line. Figured that, you down it. Well, no, it wasn't a punt. It was a kickoff. And that is just how close that was to being disaster for the Blackhawks. As it stands with the penalty, which is technically illegal procedure, as you heard, 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Blackhawks going with a double strong set. 3 in the backfield, almost a wishbone formation right now. 10-14 to go, second quarter. Gregory all over the Blackhawks, 17-0. There's the quick handoff, right side. Nope, it's going to be a pitch to the right side. Messer's there and picks up a couple of yards. Lucky to do that. He cut inside at just the right time before the Gregory defense. Jonah Beck and company able to make the stop. Gain of a couple, 2nd down and 8.
Gregory very quick to get to the perimeter to string that play out and bottle up Mesmer for just a short gain on the play. It was a nice fake run by the Blackhawks. But Gregory, you know, we talk about their size up front, but they have very good speed defensively as well.
Moore and Mesmer split to the left side, stacked to the right. Single setback behind number 9 Kingsbury. He will fake, he will move, he'll get to about the 40 before the hit's put on him. Didn't get a lot done on there, but advanced the football just a little bit, and Neitzel makes the tackle.
Stayed at home, wasn't fooled by the fake, and on that quarterback draw, there was a linebacker right in the middle of the field. Quarterback draw all the way. Neitzel stayed at home, wrapped him up at the ankles.
3rd down and 5. Blackhawks looking for another first down. They've had one in the game. Haven't had the ball much. Kingsbury with the quick handoff. Mesmer will take it over the middle. He has got some room. 45, 40, 35. Forget getting this guy. Mesmer will score. And Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central on the board with the 60-yard run from Mesmer.
Boy, he got through the hole quickly, and that shows you just how dangerous he is when he gets in the open field. Watch the hole open up.
Beautiful hole.
And once he gets to the linebacker level, there was nobody there, and he has enough speed where nobody's going to catch him. Great run. That's exactly what the Blackhawks needed. They got the goose egg off the board.
Right about at the time they needed it, too. They will go for 2 points, try to make it a 17-8 game. Kingsbury with the handoff. Oxner right side strolls into the end zone. The 2-point conversion successful, and it's a 17-8 lead for Gregory over Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central with 8:56 to go in the first half.
3 plays, 65 yards, a minute 18 off the clock on that scoring drive for the Blackhawks. And talk about a shot in the arm. It's exactly what the Blackhawks need. Watch the hole open up. Good blocking up front. There's one of the backs opening up the hole there for him as well. And boy, once he got into high gear, forget about it. Nobody's catching him.
And you know, once he got about 5 yards into the run, you knew no one was going to get near him. And a beautiful block by Jared Beschen.
Yeah, and Chase Von Eye with a great block as well. And yeah, Beschen there helping open up that hole. And Mesmer coming into this game, 1,600 yards, 32 touchdowns, averages 12.7 yards per carry.
Well, he got it there.
And he's also caught 18 passes on the year. He's a very good receiver as well, a 6 foot, 172-pound senior.
And you heard their head coach, Coach Klosik, say in the pregame show, Mesmer has been the big guy. He's the guy who makes things happen for the Blackhawks, and he puts them on the board here in the state 9AA final. 69 yards of total offense unofficially for the Blackhawks, 106 for the Gorillas. Gregory leading at 17-8. 1 touchdown from an interception, a field goal, and another score. There is the kick. Whitty takes the player back to about the 3-yard line. Coming to the 20 to about the 22-yard line, and then finally on the stop, Sean Kafka. Kafka running to about the 21, 1st and 10 Gregory. Got a nice return out of the circumstances. A nice kick from Whitty.
Yep, now it's up to the Blackhawk defense to force a 3 and out. Try to get the momentum back, or try to keep the momentum on their side, but easier said than done against a very strong Gregory team who has just seemed to run roughshod over every opposing defense they've faced all year.
Gorillas football, 21.5-yard line. Gregory has the lead at 17-8. 8:50 to go. Eagle Star over the ball at center. Single setback. Split receivers both ways. 3-man front for the Gorillas, and back to throws Brown. All kinds of time. Looks over the middle. Has the completion. It is a completion into Blackhawk territory, and a nice grab by Sean Kafka.
That's his 8th catch of the year. Averages 16 yards a reception. Took a pretty good pop after he caught the football, but what a nice thrown pass. Little hitch and go. Nice spiral right down the middle of the field. Kingsbury gave him a pretty good pop, but nice timing pattern there. Perfectly thrown ball by Kurt Brown.
30 yards on the play. Ball is just into Blackhawk territory, just inside the 50. Clock running, and why not? 8 minutes and 27 to go. Receivers all over the place again in a shotgun formation for the Gorillas. They've been known to run out of this formation. Here is Brown. Here he goes. He comes over the middle. 45 to the 40. Brown will get inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line. Mesmer on the stop from the linebacker spot for the Blackhawks.
And yep, Mesmer, a quick guy for the Blackhawks, had to catch Brown. Quarterback draw all the way. Big hole in the middle of the field. There's Mesmer with the tackle. And that's what Gregory wants to do. They spread things out, create that space so guys like Beck and Brown can operate in the middle of the field.
Vanderwerf and Thomas split receivers on the right side. Jurassic is on the left along with Vomanchka. Single setback behind number 15, Kurt Brown. Here's the handoff. Beck will take it. Gets behind the blockers. Now in front of the blockers. He'll get down to about the 26-yard line and pick up about 7, maybe 8 yards on the play. Beck has had a very good first half.
Indeed, he has. Chase Von Eye with the tackle, the nose tackle. Don't like seeing your nose tackle make tackles about 8 yards downfield. Again, nice hole opened up. There it is, right there. Follow his blocker. Nice pull there by Dwayne Kerner.
Second down, couple of yards to go. Double strong set down for the Gorillas on second and a couple. Here's the handoff. Beck will take it. Beck cuts to the outside, dives forward, hands the first down and a couple more down to about the 22.
Well, an unusual formation for Gregory. They actually had tight ends in the game and kept guys close to the line of scrimmage. It just shows you the versatility of this offense. They can spread it out. They can go double tight end and play smash mouth football if they want to. Very versatile team.
You know, the thing I'm really impressed with is how precise they are in every play.
Yes, their blocking is very good up front.
Everybody knows their role. Everybody knows what they have to do. And 99% of the time, they have gotten it done in this football game. 9AA state championship. 11A coming up tonight, Madison and Dell Rapids. Here's Brown behind the blockers, wants to get the corner, not quite there, cuts back inside the 20. They might give him the 19, but I'm kind of doubting it now. Kingsbury on the tackle, also Foberg helping out on the stop.
Check it out, that play coming right at you. Following his blockers, again, cuts back, tries to cut against the grain, but too many white jerseys. There's not a bad gain on first down for the Gorillas.
Not at all. Second down, about 7 to go. Ball is right at the 20-yard stripe. We're flying through this one at the Dome. Second of 7 games to wrap up the high school football season in South Dakota for 2014. Eagle Star gets over the ball. Brown alone in the backfield. Has a wing to the right side. 2 left, 1 right, right hash mark. Beck with the sneaky handoff, and he will get to about the 17 before the hit's put on him. Not really fooled that time, Foberg and the Blackhawk defense.
Again, you talk about execution, a well-executed kind of a draw play there, if you will. And there was a nice hole, but it was closed up quickly by Foberg. Watch the handoff there, thinking I'm going right. No, I'm coming back left. Foberg is there, along with Von Eye.
Very nice defensive play by Von Eye and Foberg. Coming back into the game is Kafka, and leaving the contest, however, temporarily for Gregory, will be Brandon Warnke. With a guy behind him. Back to throw is Brown. Wide open. There is the catch, and down at the 4-yard line is Gavin Thomas.
Little pattern right over the middle of the field, run out about 8-9 yards, turn to the middle of the field, and there was just nobody there at all. Ochsner ends up making the tackle. Look how open the receiver is initially, and then Ochsner comes up to make the tackle to save the touchdown, but there was a big gap right in the middle of the field, and Thomas found it.
Yeah, I need to correct myself, and now Steve, it was Jurassic who made the catch.
Oh, okay.
89 instead of 88. That was my error there. Under 5 minutes to go in the half. Man in motion. Brown with the sneaky handoff, and getting nowhere is Vomanchka. Mesmer with a nice tackle in the backfield.
Oh, they tried the jet sweep to the right side, but Mesmer was not fooled at all, and they're going to lose a few yards on that play, almost 5 yards. Again, that's a play that is in fashion now all across the football world. That jet sweep to the outside, but good penetration by Mesmer from his middle linebacker position, busted up that play.
A 2nd and goal situation. Gorillas have the ball at the 9-yard line. Receivers everywhere. 2 left, 2 to the right. Jonah Beck will go in motion. He'll be on the wing to the right side. Here is Brown. He'll take it himself. Looks inside. Gets to about the 5-yard line. He took a pretty good pop from Von Eye and a couple of other Blackhawks. Garrett Larson helping out on the stop, too.
Foberg in there as well. And nice job of containing this play. Quarterback keeper all the way. And running out of the shotgun formation, it's really essentially like a handoff to a running back. You know, he can look upfield and see the holes develop. Only a small hole there. Got about 3 yards or so on the play.
Gorillas trying to make it a 23-8 ball game just before halftime. Here you see the quarterback Brown checking the wristband. Ball right hash mark. Right at about the 6-yard line. 3rd down and goal for the Gorillas. Rolling left side Brown. Pitch inside to Beck. Jonah won't get into the end zone. He's going to be about 2 yards short. Ochsner helping out on the tackle. Also getting up is Von Eye. Von Eye's been all over the place in this half.
Indeed he has. A well-executed play by Gregory, but even better defense by the Blackhawks. But there's a nice hole there, but it filled quickly.
So 4th down and goal at the Blackhawk 2-yard line. 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Great crowd here for the state final. And they're enjoying this one, especially in the Gregory end of things, and the Gorillas will call a timeout. They've got them to spare. They have 3.5. They don't carry over, so you might as well take one here and discuss strategy on 4th and goal, a couple of yards away from the score.
You can follow SDPB Sports on your mobile device all season long. We're providing frequent updates to all South Dakota High School Championship events on Facebook and Twitter. Search SDPB Sports to hook up with us and join the conversation at hashtag SDFootball14. Quick check of stats here. 183 yards of offense for Gregory, 69 for the Blackhawks. Remember, 60 of that came on one play. Of course, a couple of quarterback sacks in there have racked up some negative yards for the Blackhawks.
And how dire would things be if not for that 60-yard touchdown?
Yes, indeed. I mean, that has really helped out the Blackhawks. They need a few more plays like that, obviously. But right now, the Blackhawks, they need a goal line stand, because if Gregory gets a touchdown here, I mean, I'm not going to say the game's over. By far, it's not over. But boy, the Blackhawks have a pretty big hole to climb out of. Now, if you're Gregory, it looks like they're going to go for it. But remember, they do have a field goal kicker.
Yes, they do.
But I think they feel like they're close enough with their offense, the way it's moving, they're going to go for the 6 points.
In the I formation, Vanderwife, the tailback, the fullback, Jonah Beck. Split receivers both sides, double strong set, tight ends on either side. Here is the dive for Brown, and I don't think he made it. Gregory saying he did. No official signal yet. And an official's timeout is called. I think the Blackhawks have held.
They have, right at the goal line. What a play. Brown took it all the way on the quarterback sneak. He dove ahead, but look there, his knee hit down right before he got to the goal line. So it appeared from our vantage point. And the Blackhawks come up with a big stand timeout on the field.
And a timeout is called with 2:41 left in the half. The Blackhawks deep in their territory. You watch this, and we're back to the Dome on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. And there you see the play where Gregory came just short, the knee going down just in front of the goal line. And the Blackhawks have the football right at that goal line. They have got some work to do, 99-plus yards to get down the field. It's 17-8 right now, Gregory the lead, but no touchdown to make it 23 or 24-25. Kingsbury, the quarterback, just a nice safe play to try to get out of trouble. It'll pick up a couple of yards. You just follow the big guys up front, get 1 or 2 yards, get a little more room to work.
Yeah, the Blackhawks had the ball literally at the 1 foot line, and no surprise there. They go with the quarterback sneak. Hey, want to send out a shout out to Tom Beers, watching us online in Crawford, Texas.
How about that? Tom, thank you.
Indeed, and Let us know where you're watching the games from. And if you have a member that's serving in the military overseas, let them know about it. We've heard from service people before. Let them know that they can watch this online at sdpb.org.
Second down play. Give it to the big guy up the middle. And picking up yardage to about the 4-yard line. That wasn't Mesmer, that was Jared Beshett who took the handoff. Oh, nice to see John Sieber in attendance here at the Dome today. John Sieber, one of our basketball announcers, of course, and here in the number 58 uniform with 1:42 to go.
John's a good guy.
I like John. It needs a shave, but put the ball at the 4, 1:30 to go. It is 3rd down and 6. A big play, and you know that Owen Whitty is thinking so. He's the punter for the Blackhawks. And a whistle's down, flag is down. I'm guessing delay of game.
It's either that or false start.
Delay of game. White, half the distance to the goal. Replay, 3rd down.
That was that back judge threw the flag. So you can see a lot of the Warbirds fans have stuck around here. So have quite a few of the Howard fans. It is a great crowd for a Thursday afternoon here at the Dakota Dome in Vermilion.
I've been doing this, at least this stretch, probably about 6 or 7 years. I don't remember a bigger Thursday crowd.
This is my 21st straight year here at the Dome, and I don't think I've ever seen a Thursday crowd this big at the Dakota Dome.
3rd down and 8. Here's the handoff. Mesmer will take it, cuts inside, gets over the 5 to about the 9. The happiest guy in the building right now is Luke Whitty. The Blackhawks will probably punt it away, but Whitty won't be in the shadow of the goalpost when they do. And a timeout called by Gregory. It is 4th down. They've got 3 to go for the first down with 1:09 to go.
Check out that last run here. Mesmer, a little jump step, got into the open, almost got the first down. SDPB sports coverage continues next week with live coverage of the South Dakota High School Volleyball Championships. All tournament action will be online at sdpb.org beginning on Thursday. The 3rd place and championship matches are on all 3 SDPB television channels next Saturday night starting at 6 Central, 5 Mountain Time. Class B will be on SDPB 1. That's up in Aberdeen. Class AA in Yankton on SDPB 2. I'll be at that tournament. And then in Watertown, we'll be on SDPB 3. Again, since they're all on the east side of the state, 6 Central, 5 Mountain Time, Saturday night, 3rd place in championship matches.
And the Summit Center in Yankton, just an awesome place to watch any activity.
Yeah, it is a very good venue. And, of course, Watertown, they love their volleyball in Watertown. And Aberdeen getting to roll out the red carpet for the Class B. That will be at Aberdeen High School, Aberdeen Central High School.
So don't go to the Barnett Center. No volleyball there. It's going to be at Central High School. So here is Whitty about 6 yards deep in the end zone, waiting for the snap. Not a good one at all. And Whitty is going to have to take it. He punts it, and the ball is going to end up at about the 13-yard line. Just an incredibly difficult snap for Whitty to get a hold of. He tried to kick it anyway, to his credit. It wasn't blocked, again probably to his credit, but Gregory with 1:02 left, just in dandy shape at the 13-yard line.
And watch this, he tries to get it away and does, and kaboom, takes a little bit of a hit.
He might have a case for running into the kicker, roughing the kicker with the legs extended, because the last thing in the world you want is to hit a guy with his leg extended like that, because you can really hurt him. But no penalty called.
Nope, no penalty called, and Whitty was asking for a penalty. Referee shook his head.
Split receivers either side, ball at the 12-yard line. First down for the Gorillas. Quick pass right side, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Gavin Thomas, right at about the 6-yard line.
Now with Gregory still with a timeout to play with, they can still work the middle of the field or run the ball if they want to. Still got plenty of time left, and remember, they've already got a 37-yard field goal in their scoring column, so they are within field goal range.
So 2nd down and 10 to go. Kirkley already with the field goal, a 37-yarder in the first quarter. That was the first score of the game. We're at less than a minute to go in the round. 17-8. Gregory has the lead on Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. Here is not a handoff. It's going to be a keeper, and Brown will get to about the 5-yard line. Nice gain of 7. He faked the handoff to Beck, and they do that so well.
Yes.
I mean, he basically puts the ball in the midsection and pulls it right back out.
Watch it. I mean, I thought he had the ball. Looked like he did, but Brown kept it and was knocked down near the 5.
3rd down. They can get the first down without the touchdown. That doesn't matter a whole lot with 30 seconds left in the half. Got to punch it in 2 plays. If they get 2 plays. The quick handoff will go right side. Babachka on the dive. I think he made it, and he made it. Touchdown.
Yes. Yep, side official on the near side of the field.
Second touchdown of the game for Robert Babachka. It's a 23-8 lead for the Gorillas. There is the handoff. There's Babachka. Hung up a little bit, but able to get the nose of the ball across the plane and a little bit more. Diving in for the score. 23-8. All of that coming after a bad snap on a punt.
Yep. Special teams, that's the big 3rd phase of the game, and if you don't execute well, it can really, really hurt you.
Question in hindsight after the conversion here. There's the pass. It is knocked away, incomplete. It remains 23-8. Is the wiser course of action on that play to just go ahead, fall on the ball, take the safety?
That's a really good question. I mean, you had a chance to kick the ball away from the 20 and make your opponent work, but that's always one of those things. It's tough to ask, a high school kid or even a college kid about that. If you're in that much trouble, do you just take the 2 points with as little time as there was left? Mm-hmm. Maybe that would have been, but boy, that's asking a lot. I mean, the young man tried to get the punt away, and he did.
Give him that much.
Yeah, and the thing about it was he got the punt away, and then he took the hit, and he was looking for the penalty and didn't get it. So, and I'm not sure if that should have been a penalty or not. I know the Blackhawk fans obviously it should have been, but nonetheless, Gregory was able to capitalize on the special teams gaffe. I mean, it's set up by the bad snap, and that wasn't on the punter. That was a tough tough snap for the punter to handle.
Only thing I can think of now is Kirkley gets set to kick off. Once it hits the ground like that, I think that might take off the penalty.
I think you're correct on that.
The advance and the kick from Kirkley. Here is Feiner, who'll tick it at the 9-yard line. Feiner behind the blockers, looks for room, up the sideline, 25. He's on his feet to the 35. Kirkley and some others not going to get him until he gets past the 40 to the 44-yard line. He made a beautiful run out of that and got some more yards with his effort. Did Feiner to the 44.
Let's check out this return again. Got some nice blocking down the right sideline, and it was the kicker who actually slowed him up, allowed for the tackle to happen. And now for the Blackhawks, well, they got 12 seconds left. They do have 2 timeouts.
And an illegal block call on the return.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll be first down.
So 10 yards of the run negated. Well, and then some as it comes from the spot of the foul. So you're going to put the ball all the way back to, well, outside the 20. And you and I have talked about this probably at length in some other games we've broadcast. You could just about, like you call holding or could call holding on every play, you could almost call block in the back on every kickoff return.
Yeah, we see it all the time at every level of football, the pros, high school, and college. And that penalty, wow, it's going to knock them all the way back to the 10-yard line.
So they lose 34 yards on the penalty. 12 seconds to go. 23-8. Gregory leads it. May very well be the final play of the half. Kingsbury behind his center. He is going to roll right side on play action, keep it himself, and he will get to the 13-yard line. He is hung up and brought down, and that's probably going to be the final play of the half, and it will be. Gregory with the 23-8 advantage over Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. We have played one very fast half here at the Dakota Dome in Vermilion. And again, Gregory finding a lot of ways to score on this Thursday afternoon. You see the Gorillas coming off the field. We will get a word from Brian Allmendinger in just a bit as Mike Hendrickson going out to find the head coach of the Gorillas, who He's got to be happy with the team's performance.
I've been very impressed by the play of the offense and defensive line of the Gregory Gorillas. They have really, really done a good job of controlling the game.
And here's Mike Hendrickson with Coach Allmendinger.
All right, thank you very much. First of all, Coach, you guys have to be a nightmare to prepare for with that offense that you run.
Well, I would hope so. That's kind of why we run it. You know, I've tried to game plan defenses against multiple formations. It is so difficult. So we're hoping to try to find an advantage here somewhere.
Special teams huge in that first half.
Yeah, big punt fake there that we got on our first possession. Otherwise, we're going to have to give the ball up and give up some momentum. So, yeah, that was pretty key, and our kicking as well was big for us.
All right, Coach, best of luck second half.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And there you go. At halftime, it is the Gregory Gorillas with the 23-8 lead. We're back with more from the Dakota Dome in Vermillion right after this timeout on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Welcome back to the Dakota Dome on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. I'm Gary Ellenbolt. He is Steve Toome, a 23-8 lead for Gregory. We'll take a look at first half statistics in a couple of minutes, but we want to talk about something that's kind of a new wave, if you will, in high school football in South Dakota. There are some girls who have wrestled in the state. There's always, of course, the girls' basketball and volleyball programs, but there are some girls in South Dakota playing football, and we're going to get to know one now from just up the road from Vermillion, the Gayville-Vollen Raiders. Let's meet the Gayville-Vollen kicker, Bailey Gale.
In small town South Dakota, change is hard to come by, unless you're talking about the weather. But this fall in Gayville, one change had everybody talking, and it had nothing to do with the forecast.
My name is Bailey Gale. I'm 16 years old, and I've been kicking at Gayville-Vollen for 1 season.
Meet Bailey Gale, the 5'2" rodeo queen, first grade mentor, and now varsity football kicker. Football has always been Bailey's first love, just not the American kind. Until last year, Bailey played club soccer in Vermillion. But when the soccer club became sanctioned by the South Dakota High School Activities Association, Bailey could not play because she was enrolled in a different school district.
When I found out soccer was going to be sanctioned, I was upset because I've played soccer since I was 4 years old. I didn't really know what else to do because I've never had to do anything else.
As the clock expired on Bailey's soccer career, she reached into her playbook and pulled out the best trick play the town of Gayville had ever seen. She joined the football team.
I was pretty surprised that, we were going to get a girl. We don't see too many girl football players, but I knew that she was going to put a lot of work into it and that she would be dedicated, so I wasn't too worried at all.
Bailey had to prove her worth to the now 8-man, 1-girl extra point unit. She lifted weights, worked with a kicking coach, and turned in her shin guards for shoulder pads.
The hardest thing from kicking a soccer ball to kicking extra points is the ball shape, because I don't have near as much of an area to hit on it.
Although Bailey does drills and conditioning at practice, she does not participate in contact, a luxury she doesn't get during the games.
The drive and the love of still kicking the ball and just being out on a field like this is really what drove me to keep going.
On the season, Bailey finished 23 for 28, an admirable feat for a 9-man team who doesn't kick extra points, let alone for a girl who until this year had only played soccer.
Soccer was once upon a time my favorite sport, but I'm really digging this football thing. I would say football is my favorite sport.
More amazing than the accomplishment has been the reaction of the community, an oftentimes humorous occasion.
You see the field goal go through and the guys will be standing next to us and they're like, oh my God, that's a girl. And it kind of takes them by surprise.
And she hears about it pretty much every week, that somebody's letting her know via Facebook or something that they're glad that she's playing and she's done a good job, and congratulating her for what she's done.
Amazing person and amazing for the team.
So if it's true that small towns don't change, maybe it takes the gathering of ordinary, everyday friends and neighbors and communities to make the extraordinary happen. And in this case, it helps if you can kick like a girl.
That, of course, Bailey Gale from Gayville-Vollen High School. They got to the second round of the playoffs before falling to Alcester-Hudson. Now, tomorrow, when Parkston plays St. Thomas More, either the Vetches in Rapid City have one incredible sense of humor, or there's a girl kicking Maggie Vetch for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers tomorrow.
And I believe she played on the soccer team as well. I seem to remember that from the state soccer championships when St. Thomas More was there. So who knows, maybe we'll see more ladies put on the shoulder pads and start being kickers on their respective teams.
And a neat story on Bailey Gale there, too. It's halftime. Gregory leading Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central 23-8. Here's a look at first half statistics as Gregory, Wolsey-Wessington evidently with the second game of the day, but that should be Wessington Springs, Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. But here are the stats.
And you can see time of possession heavily favoring the Gregory Gorillas, and you have to wonder about that Blackhawk defense. Their offense needs to have some more sustained drives. Otherwise, that Blackhawk defense is going to wear down.
We will take a break and come back to Vermilion. Gregory leads at 23-8. We're back after this on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Back at the Dakota Dome in Vermilion, he's Steve Toom. I'm Gary Ellenbolt. Gregory has the lead at 23-8 over Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. And as they should, Steve, the statistics pretty much favor Gregory with the 15-point lead they have here.
196 yards of offense on 31 plays of scrimmage for the Gorillas, 15 plays, 84 yards. As we check out some of the highlights of the first half, here was a play that was actually blown dead because of an inadvertent whistle, a pass completion, but that was wiped out. Here's the run by Beck. Yep, into the end zone for a touchdown. Kingsbury back to throw, lobs it up, but it's intercepted. Vomachka has it. Look at all the blockers there in red. Kingsbury had a chance for him, but Tucker couldn't make the tackle. Touchdown, Gregory, as the Blackhawks trying to rally. And here comes the big home run hitter, Mesmer. Nobody's going to get him. 60 yards on that touchdown run for the Blackhawks. That's been their only score, as they did connect on the two-point conversion. But Gregory had a chance, but they came up just short down at the 1-yard line. They got the ball back on a short punt. And there's Vomachka again scoring on the short run and heading into the locker room. Gregory leads 23-8. They have owned time of possession here in this first half. And you talk about 84 yards of total offense for the Blackhawks, 60 of it on one play.
23-8 the score. Second half coming up. Listen to this and watch this, and we'll come back to the Dome. It is halftime in the 9AA final. You're watching it on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Second half about to get underway from the Dakota Dome. The Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central Blackhawks. Pretty big hill to climb in the next 24 minutes of football. 23-8 is the score. And there's a look at some of the first half statistics. That time of possession favoring Gregory. And you know that's exactly what Brian Allmendinger wants.
And I think Mike Hendrickson is ready with the Blackhawks coach. Let's send it down to the sidelines.
Indeed, we are. Coach, halftime adjustments. What'd you tell the team?
Well, there's just some things that we need to do. First, we just need to kind of step up and make some plays. They're pretty dynamic offensively, and it's kind of tough, They run some of that read option. Where we're at with that, we just got to still stay disciplined. They're able to complete some passes on us. So, we had to make a few adjustments there. Offensively, we just had to work on, we got to make some blocks. They were sending a lot of guys getting in the backfield, figuring out how we can take advantage of their aggressiveness and maybe break some big plays like we did that one.
Coach, best of luck second half. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
And there you go. Let's send it back up to the booth. Get ready for this second half on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Very good, Mike. Thank you very much. I think we need to say hi to some folks around the country and around the world who are watching our broadcast today, Steve.
Yeah, Brad Beshin. He's a former player, I believe, for Gregory, and he's a retired military man, and he is watching us online in Huntsville, Alabama. So hello to Brad.
I'll bet he's a Huntsville Stars fan.
Could very well be.
AA affiliate of my Milwaukee Brewers.
And if you got friends or relatives that may be interested, whether they're somewhere else around the country, maybe their job or their military service is taking them overseas,
right?
Get a hold of them. Let them know to go to sdpb.org, and they can watch the games online no matter where they are. All they need is an internet connection.
The 11A final comes up tonight, 7:30 Central Time kickoff. That will feature the teams from Dell Rapids and Madison. We get started bright and early again tomorrow. The 9B final, Falkton is in action as they will be taking on Hamlin. The Chargers, of course, making the final last year at the Dome. The 11B contest, Parkston and St. Thomas More. Then on Friday night, this should be a Pier Sixer here in the Dome as we bring you Yankton and Brookings for the 11AA final.
And those two teams did not meet during the regular season because the ESD is expanded. So because of that expansion and the shortening of the season to 8 games for the AA and AAA teams, some of the ESD schools don't play each other throughout the year, and that's one of the cases. That ought to be a very, very interesting matchup. And then we move on to Saturday night.
11 AAA championship game, a rematch of last year. It's one of those, if you have plans, change them. Nice, because Sioux Falls Lincoln and Sioux Falls Roosevelt are going to go to war here like they did last year. Lincoln, the defending 11 AAA champion. Roosevelt without Taryn Christian, who is their quarterback, who got hurt very seriously in a game earlier in the year, will not be playing, obviously, on Saturday. Probably won't play basketball. We don't know that for certain, but the word is he probably will not. He, of course, an SDSU recruit.
Yeah, and you hope the young man can come back and be able to participate in something, because Roosevelt's the defending boys basketball champions as well, and Taryn Christian was a key member of that team, like first guy off the bench, provided them with a lot of solid play throughout the year. So first they got to think about football in Lincoln and Roosevelt. That'll wrap things up Saturday night. Again, our evening sessions tonight, Friday, Saturday will all start at 7 Central, 6 Mountain Time.
And just one Mountain Time team in the championship round. That would be St. Thomas More coming over from Rapid City as they take out a really salty Parkston Trojan squad. So if you're Coach Plosek for the Blackhawks, what are you getting these guys to do in the second half?
I think it's important for the Blackhawks to come out and get a score on this first drive, cut that deficit, because if you make this 23-14 or 23-16 early in the third quarter, that changes the complexion of the game. The last thing you want is a turnover, obviously, or a 3-and-out. Mesmer, I think, is the key guy. You've got to find a way to get it to him, either on handoffs or maybe use him as a wide receiver. He came into this game averaging 16.5 yards a carry. He had almost 300 receiving yards, but obviously he's the guy that makes things go for the Blackhawks. They're not out of this game. They get the ball to start the third quarter, but generally the first 4 or 5 minutes of a third quarter in a game like this kind of sets the stage for the rest of the game.
And Gregory just rolled through the first half. I'm thinking Brian Almendinger might have almost been sorry to see the half end.
Well, the way his team was rolling, yeah, it's one of those situations where, we got to go back to the locker room? We don't want to go back to the locker room. But, it's a chance for the Blackhawks to regroup. And let's see what Gregory comes out. Obviously, Coach Almendinger, he'll be happy. But always with coaches, they can always find something to improve.
Absolutely. Lucas Kirkley will kick the football away. Ball is teed up at the 40-yard line. Feiner is back deep to receive along with Uxter. Kirkley, right-footed soccer-style kicker. There's the run, there's the kick. It is a nice one. It'll come to about the 8-yard line. Here comes Feiner. He will go to the 15. Looks back inside for some help. Can't get anything done. He's going to go back to the 20, going backwards for a little bit. Vanderwerf on the tackle for Gregory. And also coming up on the stop for the Gorillas. Get that name and number in just a bit for you. That was Mitchell Kluntz, a 6-foot senior.
Jade Vanderwerf's gotten a lot of playing time for the Gorillas, number 3. He's a freshman. Doesn't play like one.
No, he does not. Very good return man. Had some good plays out there. And here come the Blackhawks from the 20-yard line. First down and 10, trailing 23-8. Here is the handoff. Mesmer will take it, get out to the 25-yard line. Just a simple play up the gut, and making the tackle for Gregory, Gavin Thomas, the left defensive end.
Just one back in the backfield. You know he's getting the football. Puts his head down. Good gain on first down for the Blackhawks.
Second down, 5 to go. Puts him in really good shape. Second down, 5. You've got a lot of room to work and some things to try. Faking the handoff, now getting it off. That is going to be Uxter who'll take it. He will get about to the line of scrimmage and pile driven backwards. Vamachka getting up off the pile. Also Jonah Beck. And helping out with the tackle is Matt Neitzel.
Just nothing there. That play took a little time to develop. And against this fast Gregory defense, you cannot take your time having plays develop. They are very quick to swarm to the football.
Paul Wunstedt checking in now for the Blackhawks. And he'll be replacing Uxter in the Gregory offense. Or I'm sorry, the Blackhawk offense. Third down, 5 to go. Baxter split behind the quarterback. On play action, he rolls right side. Hit as he throws. Ball is tipped, just about picked off. Brown had an opportunity at it. Vamachka tried the diving interception. No such luck either way. It's 4th down.
And again, Kingsbury, no time to throw. Pass too tall for his intended target. Tipped in the air. And that was Beck applying the pressure. And Kingsbury takes another shot after he releases the football.
Kingsbury going to be pretty sore tomorrow morning. Kingsbury family watching in Denver, Colorado, by the way, cheering on Tucker and Trent, who play for the Blackhawks. And Owen Whitty is going to be back to punt. Vamachka getting deep to receive. I'm sorry, that's Kafka. There's a kick, and gets it off somehow. Kafka will take it, 41-yard line. There's Kafka to the 50. Over into Blackhawk territory, on his feet to the 32, where he's driven out of bounds by the Blackhawks. And coming up with the tackle was Jared Betchen. So great field position for Gregory for its first offensive series of half number 2.
And again, another problem with the snap. A quick punt, and it got to the return man quickly, and Kafka just managed to make it to the right sideline. Another short field for Gregory to work with.
I thought for a second it had been blocked, and then I thought for another second, I don't know how it couldn't have been, because Gregory was just pouring in. And again, not a good snap. On first down and 10, Gorillas football. Brown is the quarterback, had a great first half. Got receivers all over the place. And Jonah Beck on the wing to the right side. Beck will watch Brown take it himself. He gets over the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Coming up on the stop for the Blackhawks, Garrett Larson. A couple of other players getting off the pile. Brady Teedy helping out as well.
Important for the Blackhawks to deny Gregory a chance to score here. Keep him out of field goal range. They cannot give up a touchdown and fall another score behind.
And really, if they stop any scoring here at all, they've got to consider that a win and ride that for some momentum.
Absolutely.
Second down and 5 to go. 2 left, 2 right. Backs in the guy formation. Check that. And Brown is in the pistol with Beck behind it. And the handoff will go to Beck. He'll come right side. Gets over the 25, maybe the 24, but I'm kind of doubting it. Mesmer on the tackle for the Blackhawks.
That time, Brown actually did not pull the football away from his running back as he went into the line, and just not a whole lot there.
You know, the great thing on a play like that is you make the defense double clutch every time you do it. Because they all of a sudden they're thinking instead of reacting. It's who's got the ball. You don't want to tackle the guy without the ball because that springs loose the guy who's carrying. Third down, couple of yards to go. Ball right at the 25-yard line. Pistol formation once again for the Gorillas. Brown will head right side on the option. He'll take it himself and he'll get the first down as he gets down to the 21-yard line.
Again, just the quarterback keeper to the right side. He did have the option, but saw enough of a hole to dive through it and get the first down. Move the chains for the Gorillas. Another first down.
Ball will go to the 21-yard line of Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. A first down again for Gregory. Just an efficient, precision-laden offense, this Gregory Gorilla team. You can see why they're unbeaten.
And examining their record, they really haven't been challenged a whole lot.
They had 79 points in one game this season. Rolling toward the left side. This is Brown behind the blockers over the 20 down to the 17-yard line. And coming up with the stop, Jared Beschen. That'll be a gain of a good 5 yards, though. Second down, 5 to go. Ball just inside the 17-yard line.
Just quarterback to the left side. Again, design run all the way.
So 2nd and 5. Manson, wide receiver left side. That is going to be Jurassic. And on the right side is Vander. Back to throw. Here's Brown in some trouble. Rolling right side. Hit as he throws. Pass is incomplete. No flags down anywhere as he had a receiver in the area, but a nice job by the Blackhawk defense trying to get to him.
Good coverage downfield. Brown had to scramble, but just couldn't get away from the defensive lineman that was pursuing him.
And on the tackle was Chase Von Eye for the Blackhawks. 3rd down. Looks a little more now like 6 than 5. And if the drive were to stall here, it'd be about a 33-yarder for Kirkland. Within his range, he's hit one from 36 today. On 3rd down, here's Brown looking around, right side, incomplete pass, might have been partially tipped. It was. It's 4th down, and Kirkley is coming in to try the 33, give or take, yard field goal.
Yep, pass was tipped at the line of scrimmage. And now the Gorillas, for their field goal kicker, the good thing is that they're set up right in the middle of the field. That's where you want to be.
Kirkley with Brown the holder. Ball is going to be spotted at the 24-yard line, and 10 for the goalpost being at the back of the end zone. This will be a 34-yard attempt, and again, Kirkley finds this well within his range. There's the snap. It is partially blocked, and it is going to be picked up by Warnstead. Warnstead will get to the 40-yard line on his feet and out of bounds at about the 45. A nice block by the defense. It didn't look like he got a really good trajectory on the kick anyway.
No, it was low and a good charge that time by the special teams unit of the Blackhawks. We'll check it out again.
There's the event. Not a great hold either, as that kind of threw the timing off. And Kirkley just had no choice. He had to go ahead and kick the ball. It was low, and it was blocked.
Yep, Foberg came charging in there, and a nice decision by number 26, Wernstadt, to just pick that up and run with it. And got a nice return, but it's going to, well, they're going to say he stepped out
at the 29.
At the 29.
I thought he was going to get a little better field position than that, but a good hands-up play by Cole Wernstadt. And we've got whistles all over the place. Timeout is called. We will take one right alongside, and you watch this. We're back in a minute. 23-8, Gregory leading. It's South Dakota State Championship football on South Dakota Public Broadcaster. First and 10 from the 29-yard line. Blackhawks football, they're trailing 23-8. Mesmer gets out of the backfield, sprints his way to about the 33, maybe the 34. Beck and Vamachka making the tackle for Gregory. It'll be a gain of roughly 4, call it 2nd down and 6.
Mesmer on the handoff, looking for some blockers. Doesn't have a whole lot to operate with. Big block field goal on that last possession by by the Blackhawks rather. They did what they had to do. Keep Gregory from scoring. Now it's up to the Blackhawk offense.
Here they come on the offense, running a double strong set with a wing to the left side. Backs in the I formation. And off Mesmer once again. He comes right side, gets over the 35, onto about the 37. On the stop for the Gorillas would be Mason Jurassic.
Again, trying that right side again. Just not a whole lot to work with there for the Blackhawks.
Jurassic, decent tackle. Got wrapped around the legs and brought the ball carrier down. 3rd down, 3-yard situation for the Sanborn Central squad. Also Woonsocket, Wessington Springs. And they come to the line. Cinnamon in motion to the left side. And with the handoff, here's Mesmer. Right side, going forward. He did not get the first down. Gregory smelling it right away. 3 consecutive plays to the right side. Gregory caught that one as The tackle was made by Gavin Thomas. Jurassic in the area too, 4th and a couple.
See if they want to go for it, if they'll kick it away. Again, testing the right side, but
I don't see Owen Whitty into the game. He is not in there. So they will go with the backfield, the wishbone, trying to get them the first down. Need to get just inside the 39-yard line. Handoff right side. Here is Mesmer. He's going to have the first down. Mesmer on his feet past the 45 out to the 46. Mamachka making the stop for Gregory.
Again, attacking the right side with the offensive line. The left side of Gregory defense. That time they opened up a little bit of a crack. Is Beshin with a good block. And Mesmer again just putting his head down, just tough yards, but move the chains for the Blackhawks.
I wonder what they're seeing on the right side, which would be the left side of Gregory's defense, that they're trying to exploit here. 1st and 10, 45-yard line. Handoff going, left side, nothing doing as it goes into the hands of Ochsner, who got nowhere.
No, he's going to lose some yards on the play. A little misdirection play as they faked the run to the right and came back to the left side.
There was a handoff. Ochsner was there behind the blockers. No problem at all for Gavin Thomas to make the stop. Vanderwerf helping out as well. It'll be 2nd down, 13 to go. Put the ball at the Blackhawk 42-yard line. Again, 3 in the backfield. Right behind his setters, Tanner Kingsbury. There's the pitch, right side. It is Mesmer out past the 45, out to the 47. Mamachka helping out on the tackle. Also Vanderwerf. And that's going to be the end of the trail, at least on that play. For the Blackhawks, they've got a 3rd down and about 8 to go.
211 yards of offense for Gregory, 105 for the Blackhawks.
8 yards to get the first down. Want to keep the offense on the field. They're down 23-8 on the Blackhawks. Calling out the signals, Kingsbury on play action. He's looking long, looking over the middle for the tight end. It is incomplete, popped through the hands of Mamachka, who was a closer receiver. Brady TD, the tight end, the intended receiver. It's now 4th down and 8. And it looks like the Blackhawks are going to go. I do not see Owen Whitty coming out onto the field looking for his uniform number 12. He is not out there.
3 defenders back there for Gregory. Pass a little bit overthrown.
Kingsbury working from the shotgun formation. On 4th down, 8 to go. Stack the receivers on both sides. Here he comes. Here comes Gregory. Wrapped up, brought down, and the big sack was coming to about the 45-yard line. Then finally a handoff that went to Beshin, who got to the 40, but nowhere near the first down. Gregory takes it.
Yep, they came with the blitz from the right side of the defense. Now watch it, he just flips it to the running back. That's a lateral. He could have thrown it, I think, but just had anybody downfield. And again, the pressure being brought by the Gregory Gorillas. The Blackhawks turn it over on downs, and again, another short field for the Gorillas to work with.
39 yards and change to get into the end zone. Again, we're zipping through this ball game in Vermilion. 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Quarter number 3, 23-8. Gregory leads. Brown and the Gorillas with the football. Handoff will go to Jonah Beck. He will get to the 37-yard line, still on his feet. Most of the communities making up the school district for Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central on the stop, and forward progress is motioned at about the 37. So you can call it a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and a short 8 to go. Gorillas football. Setting up with a formation with 2 wide receivers right side, 2 to the left. On the wing to the right side, Jonah Beck. And waiting for the snap, number 15, the quarterback Brown. He gets it, back to throw he goes. He's got some time, looking for the home run. Has Mamachka there, caught it. Mamachka with the catch to the 10-yard line. A first down definitely, and maybe 1st and goal.
Should be 1st and goal, and credit for Mamachka for hanging on to the football. Took a pretty big hit when he came down after catching the pass. Brown claps his hands, wants the ball, little pump fake, throws it down the middle of the field. Look at the hit put on Mamachka, but he hangs on. That was Wormstadt that hit him.
And Vermachka, I mean, he was really vulnerable there as well. Extending his body, it was a legal hit. Nothing wrong with the hit at all, but just a tough hit in a vulnerable position for the receiver. First down and goal for the Gorillas, trying to pad the 23-8 lead. Here's Brown over the 10, down to about the 8, and on the tackle for the Blackhawks, Brady Teedy.
Put a man in motion, looked like they were going to have the jet sweep to the right side. Instead, Brown kept it, just ran the ball up the middle. Had a big hole initially, but it was closed by the Blackhawk defense very nicely.
Second down and goal. The Gorillas at the Woonsocket and Wessington Springs and Sanborn Central 8-yard line. Cheerleaders probably not saying Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central hold that line. And in motion left side, Brown will take it again. He's over the 5, diving forward to about the 3-yard line before the defense able to put the stop on him. And getting up is Oxner. He helped out on the tackle. You'll go to third and goal for Gregory. The ball inside the 3-yard line. They have been stopped before deep in Blackhawk territory.
Yep. Quarterback draw all the way. Nice job by Brown to read his blocks right in that heavy traffic.
So a third down setup for the Gregory Gorillas, unbeaten on the year. Blackhawks have lost once. That was in the final regular season game to Wolsey-Wessington. Pitch will come to Vanderwerf. He'll dive forward, try to get into the end zone. He made it. Touchdown. It is 29-8. Gregory opening up this one with 1:36 to go in the third quarter.
Nice strong run by the freshman running back as he tried the right side. Quick pitch to him. Got to the edge pretty quickly, turned upfield, and just plowed his way into the end zone as Brady Teedy just couldn't quite stop him.
So the freshman having a really good game for the Gorillas with 1:36 to go. He makes it 29-8, Gregory, and a 2-point conversion attempt again for the Gorillas. Brown to throw, looking left side, got some room, going to throw toward the corner of the end zone, wide open for Machka. He got it. It's a 31-8 lead as Gregory gets another score with 1:36 and again get it off a short field.
5 plays, 39 yards, 2:34 time of possession on that scoring drive for the Gorillas. Watch the poise by Brown. That play was supposed to go to the right. His receiver was covered, checked down to his second man, who stepped to the back of the end zone. Great nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback. Valmachka knew that he was to drift to the back of the end zone, get behind the defensive coverage. That's exactly what happened. A nice throw by Brown.
It was, and Vermachka all by himself in that corner of the end zone. Second guy there, and the Blackhawks not able to cover. 2-point conversion good. 31-8 is the score as Gregory is leading Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. 1 more quarter to play. The 11A championship game coming up tonight as Madison will look for a state championship after coming so close last year. But they have got a Wolfpack to take on tonight in Dell Rapids.
Should be a fantastic game. It was a nail-biter when they opened up the season against each other. I just looked at the score here, 31-8. This was the score Gregory beat Duel by.
Indeed it was. There is the kick from Kirkley. It's a high one, end over end. Going to come to about the 13-yard line. Oxner will take it. He will bounce the bodies to about the 35-yard line and out of bounds from there. They may not give him exactly the 35. Looks like it might be a little closer to the 33. It's first down for the Blackhawks as they try to come back from a 31-8 deficit. You might notice yellow tape or spats or yellow shoes among some of the Blackhawk players, and that is in memory of a classmate and in some cases a sister, Tana Kingsbury, who died of a brain tumor a couple of months ago. And they have basically dedicated the season to her. Here's her brother, Kingsbury, to throw. Goes right side. Pass is complete. 40-yard line to the 45 and brought down at about the 47-yard line. Nice catch by Betchett.
Tana Kingsbury, last year as a freshman, joined the basketball team, and she got to play in the State B tournament, came in late in the semifinal game when things had been decided, got to score a basket up at Huron. The whole arena just erupted. It was just such a wonderful moment, and unfortunately, cancer came back into her life and took her life. It was so sad to hear the news because we thought the young lady had it beaten, and it turned out not to be the case.
And two of her brothers on the team, including Kingsbury, the quarterback. Here is Mesmer on the reception, over midfield, down to about the 48-yard line. Mesmer dragging a couple of gorillas with him, Vanderwerf one of them, and also in the area, Brandon Warnke.
About a minute to go now here in the third quarter for the Blackhawks. It's simple question of, all right, forget the score. Let's move the chains, get the ball downfield, get in the end zone, let matters take care of itself from there.
You just execute and do the things you need to do. Everything else to follow. Second down, 5 to go, 48-yard line. Here is Kingsbury. He'll take the ball himself. He has got some room. 35, Kingsbury over the 30, inside the 25-yard line before the hit's put on him. Vanderwerf on the tackle along with Vermachka. Nice run on the draw from Tanner Kingsbury.
Taking a page out of Brown's handbook there. Little quarterback draw, and he made a nice move. He got about 5-6 yards downfield, put on a nice fake. Watch him when he gets to the linebacker level here on the draw. Watch that move. Had the defender on the turf. Made a nice move upfield, and a big first down for the Blackhawks.
So you watch the waist and not the eyes. Handoff is going to go. Pitch on the left side. Oxner with some room. If he can get the corner turned, he can't. He will get to the 20-yard line, pick up about 3 yards. They faked the handoff right side, then pitched it to Oxner, who came to the left, got 3 yards down to the 20. 16 seconds left in quarter number 3. Blackhawks moving the football at the Gregory 20. They'll split a receiver to the right side. That's Wormstead. Mesmer's on the left. And a man in the backfield behind number 9, Kingsbury. On play action, rolling right side, in some trouble. He's out of the pocket, looking toward the end zone. Pass is there, incomplete. Wanted the big tight end, Brady Teedy, and couldn't get it there.
He was open, but unfortunately it's incomplete, and we're done with the third quarter.
3 quarters in the books at the Dome in the 9A championship game, 9AA rather. 31-8, Gregory leading the Blackhawks of Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. Back with the fourth quarter after this on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Into the fourth quarter from the Dakota Dome in Vermilion. I'm Gary Illenbolt, Steve Toom with me on this Thursday afternoon 9AA championship game. Gregory leading 1 quarter away from a state title, their first as a 9-man program. 31-8 the score. Kingsbury back to throw, pass complete on the left side. Dylan Moore takes it and gets nowhere fast, might even lose a half yard. Nice job by Warnke on the stop.
Yeah, just nowhere to go for the receiver on the little screen pass here. Fake the handoff off to the left side, and the tackle made by number 89, Mason Jurasek.
Fourth down, 7 yards to go. Understand that Lucas Kirkley's family is watching in their Danish town on the other side of the world.
Young man, the kicker for Gregory, so hello to
a foreign exchange student. Hey, thanks for watching over on that side of the planet. Good to have you here on fourth down. Back is Kingsbury, rolls left side, trying to find some room. Needs to get to the 13. He won't get there. He won't get close. Flag is down. Gregory holds.
If the penalty is against the Blackhawks, Gregory has held. It's a big, big flag here on this fourth down play.
Need to see what that's all about, of course, because if it's on the Blackhawks, Gregory will get the ball again.
Holding, 21 White. Penalty is declined. First down.
And the Gorillas, with a somewhat longer field than they had through most of the game, or certainly most of the half, they will take the football over. 11:06 to hang on to become the 9AA champions and finish an undefeated season. They hang on and win. They go to 12-0 in the year.
I have some stats here through 3 quarters. Time of possession plus 6 minutes in favor of Gregory. 21:03 to compared to 14:52 for the Blackhawks.
So first down and 10 from the Gorilla 15-yard line. Eagle Star the center. Pistol formation. And the quick handoff is going to go to Beck. Jonah will get it over the 15. Diving forward to about the 16-yard line. Garrett Larson coming up with the stop for the Blackhawks.
That was the 12th carry for Beck on the day. He had 39 yards coming into this quarter. I'll give him a yard there. That makes 12 carries for 40 yards. Brown is 16 carries, 91 yards. Beck, Vomachka, and Vanderwerf all scoring touchdowns for the Gorillas. 14 first downs for Gregory, 5 for the Blackhawks.
The Gorillas have just been a machine. Offensively, defensively, they've played a great game today. Played a lot of great games, obviously, having won all of them this season. Rolling left side as Brown cuts back inside. He is going to lose some yardage back to the 15-yard line. The Blackhawks had it played perfectly. Garrett Larson, Von I, and a couple others helping to make the stop.
Checking out some other stats. Passing yards, 111 for Gregory, 41 for the Blackhawks. 250 yards of offense for Gregory so far, 144 for the Blackhawks. This play didn't work so well for the Gorillas. Brown just couldn't quite get away.
Third down, 9 to go. Under 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. See some of the Gorilla players watching the action from the sideline.
Got a new quarterback.
All right, we'll check that out in just a minute here. See how he does on third down and 9 to go. That is a pass over the middle, looking long, hit as he throws. Pass is incomplete, knocked out of the hands of the intended receiver. That was Thomas. It looked to be Andy McCants, who's into the contest. 5'9" freshman, 170-pounder. He took a shot as he unloaded the football and still just about completed the pass.
Yeah, got some pretty good mustard on the ball. Drops back, feels the pressure, steps into the throw, takes the hit, lobs it up high. And good defense by the Blackhawks. Got in perfect position to knock the ball away. That was Tucker Kingsbury.
And we've got a flag down in what would be the Gorilla backfield, and they are talking to the Gregory players.
Red, half the distance to the goal. Replay third down.
So they're going to back him up. Illegal participation.
Okay, somebody came in and somebody else didn't get out in time, so technically too many men on the field.
Penalty has been declined.
I was wondering
Fourth down.
I was thinking, hey, I think they may be misunderstood here. Now it's 4th down and 9. One would think the punting unit coming on here for Gregory.
And we'll see if the punter is into the game, and he will be. And that is going to be Vomachka. This is first punt.
Check the stats here.
I really think it is.
Yes, it is.
All right. Mesmer back deep is a rugby-style punt. It is high, in midair, and short, and it is going to take a bounce to about the 40-yard line. It is hung on to, down by Sean Curtis, and now it's the Blackhawks' turn with a short field at about the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, 9:19 to go, fourth quarter. They trail it. It is 31-8 Gregory.
Yeah, most of the game, Gregory's had a short field to work with. Can't say the same for the Blackhawks, but now they have an opportunity here. Kingsbury is 5 of 9 passing, 1 interception, no touchdowns. 4 receptions by Mesmer.
And Brown is back in the game, so no injury. Thankfully for him, Kingsbury to throw. Again, pressure, hit as he throws, passes in and out of the hands of Mesmer. That play was just kind of doomed from the snap as Kingsbury had a couple of big guys coming after him. He threw the ball just before he got smacked, and Mesmer couldn't hang on.
Yeah, middle screen again being set up by the Blackhawks, but plenty of red jerseys around the intended receiver, Austin Mesmer.
So a 2nd down and 10. Ball just inside the 40-yard line. Blackhawks football. And Kingsbury from the pistol with a man in motion. That's Oxford to the left side. He's got the ball. Oxner slipped and fell down. He'll actually lose a couple of yards trying to make his cut toward the near side. And he slipped on the turf and down he went.
Yep, just slipped on the turf here. Tough break for the Blackhawks. Well, again, the jet sweep, or a modified version of it, and
just lost his footing.
Just lost his footing. He's upset with himself. Might have had a chance to turn the corner, getting some decent yards, but instead slips on the turf.
3rd down, 11 to go. Ball back outside the 40. Kingsbury will throw it, hit again, pass is complete. Mesmer goes nowhere, and Famachka had it played perfectly and hauls him down.
Yep, Famachka had it played perfectly. He'll let Mesmer catch the ball in front of him on that short of a pass. He was just making sure he was in position to make the tackle, and a great open field tackle.
So 4th down, and 8 to go, and a timeout is called by Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. 8:15 away from a state title for the Gregory Gorillas, who lead it here 31-8.
Spend the holidays with South Dakota Public Broadcasting. On Thanksgiving, we highlight the talented musicians from across the state in the elementary honor choir and the high school chorus and orchestra concerts. In December, we'll have specials featuring Celtic Woman, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, and more. Check our listings online at sdpb.org.
You know it's Jonah Beck's birthday?
It is. Well, happy birthday, and I'm sure having a state championship, if Gregory can hold on here in the final 8:15, would be the icing on the proverbial cake.
And he may be able to pick what kind of cake they'll be having.
Why not? I tell you what, we've been impressed with Gregory all day today,
yes.
And now their defense has to make a stand on 4th down and long. For the Blackhawks, you know, they got to make something happen in an awful short amount of time here. In 4th and 8, tough hill to climb if you're the Blackhawks.
And here they come on offense. Need to get 8 yards to about the 29-yard line to get the 1st down. Kingsbury, the quarterback, pistol formation. Has a guy behind him, that's Betchin. Split receivers both sides. Oxner now goes in motion to the left side. He'll stop on the wing. Back is Kingsbury. Got some protection. He is going for the home run for the tight end and can't quite hang on. It was right there for Brady Teedy. Just couldn't hang on to the football, and Gregory gets it back.
Great pass defense by Kurt Brown. This was a well-thrown ball, little pump fake. Plenty of air under it. It was on target, but look at Brown reach up and slap it away from the tight end. That is great pass defense.
And a perfectly legal play because the defender has a right to the football when it's in the air.
So another scoring opportunity goes by the boards for the Blackhawks.
And here come the Gorillas on their own 38-yard line. 31-8 lead, 251 yards of total offense for the Gorillas in the game. Eagle Star the center. Brown with a quick handoff coming right side and getting about a yard to the 39-yard line. That was Famachka on the carry.
Yep, Gregory just wants to keep it in the middle of the field, try to move the chains, just wind down this clock here in quarter number 4.
And really, Gregory doesn't have to do anything as long as they keep the football moving. They've got the 23-point lead. There was the quick handoff to Famachka, and you see the tackle by Brady Teedy. That's asking a lot of a 16, 17-year-old kid. Have that passing situation where Teedy just about came up with it. Now he's got to forget about it and play some salty defense. He got it done there. 2nd down, about 9 to go. Hand off to Beck. Jonah, the birthday boy, to the 45, over the 50. He is down into Blackhawk territory at the 48.
Nice run up the middle, managed to shift directions when he got about 3-4 steps beyond the line of scrimmage and move the chains. 1st down, Gorillas. As Beck on the handoff, read his blocks very well. Mesmer finally brings him down, but it's a fresh set of downs for the team in red.
Gorillas have the ball. 49-yard line is the spot on the 1st down. 7:10 to go and counting in the 4th quarter. The Gorillas, as you see it, leading the Blackhawks 31-8. Here is the quick handoff. Beck's got it again. This time, Jonah not quite so lucky as a bunch of Blackhawk defenders. Jacob Foberg back there, TD, and a couple of others coming up with the stop. It'll be second down, third down, and about 9 to go.
If the Gorillas can hold on and win this game, they'll join a pretty elite list of teams that have won 11-man and 9-man football championships.
I stand corrected. It is second down and 9 to go. There aren't many teams that have done that.
I know DeSmet has. I know Scotland has. That's the two that I remember right away. Howard has.
Okay. Off the left side, here's Brown. Cuts inside, tripped up and hauled down. It will be third down now for the Gorillas, as Brown did not quite get to the 45.
Just checking over past champions. I know those 3 schools are on the list, and I'm sure some of our fans out there will know of more. Those are the 3 I know right off the top of my head.
Brown and the Gorillas with the third down and 8. Ball at the 47-yard line. They're in Blackhawk territory. And Brown will work from the shotgun. Receivers akimbo. Guy alone in the backfield. That is Beck. Here comes the draw play. Rolling toward the left side. Not getting the first down. He's going to be about 3 or 4 yards short. Brown went left side, hit the hole, but it closed very quickly. And the stop made by the Blackhawks on defense, and that was Garrett Larson who made the tackle.
If Hamlin wins tomorrow, they will join that list.
Now, Hamlin's in kind of an unusual situation. They are an A school in every other sport, but have a waiver to play 9B football because of their enrollment and the fact that they have kids who, per their religion, cannot play in any organized activities. Here is the snap. Here is the punt. Momachka gets it off. The rugby-style kick. It is going to take a bounce to about the 3-yard line. Mesmer will go left side. Wants some room. Finally gets over the 10 to the 15. On his feet. Some big, loud contact at about the 25.
Nice return there as he managed to improvise quite well on that punt that went over his head. Managed to make a nice return. Managed to get some good blocks along the way as he ran to his left. And a nice return there by the Blackhawks. And we got a timeout on the field.
And the timeout called with 4 minutes and 45 to play in the fourth quarter. That the one we get, or?
Yes.
Okay, it is, which means I have to say we'll be back after this on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. (31-8) score as Gregory has the lead on the Woonsocket, Wessington Springs Sanborn Central Blackhawks. They have a first down at the 23-yard line. Kingsbury, the quarterback, quick pass to the right side in the flat. That is going to go to Wormstadt, who will get over the 25 to about the 26. Brown on the tackle.
Little bubble screen to the right side. Managed to get about 2-3 yards out of the play. Nothing real fancy. And again, if you watch high school and college football over the last few years, you've seen this play more and more.
And a quick play going is Kingsbury, and penalty flags are down. They'll stop the play, which means a flag on the offense. So second down and 8 will become second down. Could be 13.
False start, 53 White. 5 yards, second down.
That's on Brady Teedy. So they keep second down, and we'll go to second and 13. The ball now going to be at the 21-yard line. 4:17 and counting, fourth quarter. Gorillas playing a great football game and leading at 31-8. Back is Kingsbury. No pressure. Rolls left side. Incomplete. Led Mesmer out just a little bit too far, and he couldn't corral it.
Yeah, right at the 30-yard line. His man was open downfield. Kingsbury just let him about a step too much. Stops the clock with 4:07 left. That time, Kingsbury had protection, was able to step into the throw. But just too far. Two defenders there, but Mesmer found an open space.
Blackhawks come up to the line on third down and about 13 to go. That's after the penalty a couple of plays ago. Backs in the wishbone setup. Pitch will come to Oxner. He wants room inside. He's got it. He's at the 30. Oxner diving forward to the 34-yard line. Brown on the tackle, and he should have the first down. They'll move the sticks as Oxner gets the first down before the Braun tackle. There he goes. Nice hole inside, kind of picking and choosing his way through the holes, and gets the first down on a 3rd and 13.
Blackhawks have been trying to run that play a few times today with Oxner to the left side. It's the first time it really worked.
First down and 10. Blackhawk football from the 35. This is Mesmer hung up in the backfield. He will get nowhere fast. Nice job by the Gorilla defense on the containment and coming up with the tackle. Brown is in the area. Also coming up with the stop is going to be the linebacker Warnke. So second down, actually picked up a foot. We'll call it second and a short 10. Time wasted for the Blackhawks with 3 minutes and 23 to go. Here with the double strong set, Kingsbury behind his big center. He's going back to throw. He rolls left side. He's out of the pocket, looking for someone to get it to. He's looking long, and it is almost picked off. Mamachka had his hand on it. The intended receiver was the tight end, TD, and it never got there.
No, that ball kind of wobbling as it came down, as Kingsbury had to throw on the run. Protection was good. Rolls out to his left. Turns his body, got his shoulder square, but pass kind of wobbled downfield and tipped away by Vomachka. Number 2 for the Gorillas.
3rd down and 9. Vomachka already with a pick 6 in the game today. Part of the 31 points outpouring by Gregory. 31-8 the score. Kingsbury from the pistol. He's rolling right side, in some trouble. Rolls to the right, it's complete. Warnstedt comes up with the catch, gets the first down, and goes out of bounds at midfield.
Yep, his momentum carried him out of bounds, but he will get the first down. Had some open field in front of him, but just his momentum took him out of bounds. But that's not a bad thing. 1, you get the first down. 2, you get out of bounds and stop the clock.
Do you want the good news or the bad news?
What is the good news?
The good news is we found out the name of the town where Kirkley's family is watching our broadcast.
Oh, in Denmark?
Yes.
Yeah, what is the name of said town?
Well, that's the bad news. I forgot it. Kingsbury rolling right side, pass over the middle. It's complete. It will go to the 45-yard line, down to the 44. That was Betchin on the catch and the run. And he will have the Blackhawks at a second down situation and about 5 to go.
I think Nate Weck over here, our online producer, has it.
Woonsocket.
Woonsocket.
Yes.
We hope we're pronouncing it correctly. But again, thank you to people in Denmark watching.
The Kirkley family. Well, hopefully the something rotten in Denmark isn't us. On second down and 4 to go. Set up the backs between the quarterback. Handoff Oxner. He will bull his way forward to the first down. Second, third, and fourth effort goes down at the 37-yard line.
Nice strong run by the sophomore running back who came into this game with 636 yards on the season. Just wouldn't quit. Move the chains again. Clock stops momentarily. First down, Blackhawks.
2 minutes and 19 seconds. No quit in these Blackhawks. Got in a hole early and been trying to work on it ever since. Kingsbury to throw. Looks like right side. Pass is incomplete. Had Wormstead there. Wormstead had to dive for it. He might have slipped on the turf right at around the 30.
Brown on the coverage defensively for the Gorillas and had the man open. Nice route run. Pass was just a little bit off target.
So second and 10. Wormstead will lead the game. Moore is into the contest. He'll be the split receiver left side. Mesmer there as well. TD is on the right with Oxner. And waiting for the snap, now sending a guy in motion, is the quarterback Kingsbury. He gets the snap, takes the handoff. On play action, there he goes, rolling right side. Got some people on him. Pass is complete. Coming up with it is Betchin. Only picks up about a yard. Went to a lot of trouble just to get a yard, but it's forward progress at any rate. It'll go to third down and 9 from the 36.
Gavin Thomas on the tackle for Gregory. Under 2 minutes to go. Again, so much pressure. Kingsbury having to roll out. Go to his safety valve.
Is this the longest drive the Blackhawks have had today?
I believe so.
I really think it is. Receivers everywhere. Kingsbury rolling right side, in trouble. Throws it. Betchin's got it over the 40, 35. Betchin will stop at the 35-yard line, just 2 or 3 yards. And again, Kingsbury taking another licking as he throws the football.
And the Blackhawks have called a timeout with 1:22 left, and Betchen just is there to bail out his quarterback again, who has just been running from that defensive pressure. Nice job to improvise there. Dangerous pass, but spotted his man out of the corner of his eye. Managed to just flip it to him right as he was being tackled. But yeah, Tucker Kingsbury just has, he's going to feel this game in the morning.
Yes, he will. Not only the disappointment of what will almost certainly be the loss, but the fact that he has been hit several times and hit hard. 1:22 to go. I think it's time to bring out some Blackhawk trivia, don't you?
Oh, if you have some.
All right. One of the schools, Sanborn Central, is located in the small town of Forestburg. They have one distinction, of course, having some of the world's finest melons, cantaloupe, watermelon, that kind of thing, because of the soil in that area. But did you know the city limit sign in Forestburg is nailed to a tree?
Did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's very old school.
Yeah, I don't know why they managed to do it. And of course, it's low enough on the tree. Since trees grow upward, you don't have to crane your neck at all to see the city limit sign, but that's how you know you're in Forestburg. On 4th down and 8 to go. Kingsbury and the Hawks will go for it. He's rolling left side. Pass is there. Mesmer, the intended receiver, never got there or close. Nice job by Vermachka on the defensive series coming out of the backfield. And the ball is going to go back to Gregory, and they'll take it with 1:16 to go as the starters leave the field. The defense off, the offense on with 1:16 to go to the state championship. There you see the smile of Brian Allmendinger. 1:16 to hang on. And the Gorillas about to end up with the 9AA championship. 11A coming up tonight. And that will be the Madison Bulldogs and the Warriors of Dell Rapids. Brown on 1st down. Jonah Beck will take it. Jonah will get to about the 40-yard line. Hits put on him there with 1:08 to go. Substitutions coming up for the Blackhawks. One of those is going to be Ty Swenson, who's into the contest. Josh Feiner will play some defense. Joe Davis has come into the game. And also in Shane Nelson. Sean Kafka into the contest now. Kafka, rather. He's the split receiver on the right side. Brown will go the distance for the Gorillas. 35 seconds. Handoff is going to go right side. Coming over the middle, getting to about the 41-yard line, and that's going to be the end of the trail. And that was Jonah Beck who came up with it. That may very well be the final play of this 9AA championship game. The Gregory Gorillas really living up to their nickname today as they took care of things early and often and looked good in just about every phase of football. Clock winding down with 5 seconds. Congratulatory hugs on a great season, and it was a great season for the Blackhawks. Gregory gets it done. There is the 9AA champion, the Gregory Gorillas. Their first time to the Dome since 2003, and they get the decision 31-8 over Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. Gregory winning it 31-8. We'll have the trophy presentation and a lot more coming up. Interviews with the winning head coach, Brian Allmendinger, and a lot more to come as we get our post-game report. A very fast-moving game here today.
Yeah, and well, with Gregory, with their ball control offense, they keep the ball in the middle of the field. And, of course, that first drive of the game where they marched downfield and got the field goal, that took over 6 minutes off the clock, a 12-play drive. And that kind of set the tone. Gregory was able to dominate time of possession, plus almost 6 minutes compared to the Blackhawks. We'll check out final stats a little bit later, but I tell you what, Jonah Beck played a great game, not just offensively, defensively as well for the Gregory Gorillas. As you see the coaches and the players going through the handshake line. Great job up front by the young men for the Gorillas, Kerner, Eagle Star, and Campbell on that front wall. I mean, just everybody for Gregory made a contribution on both sides of the football, and that's what team's all about.
And Brown didn't have a lot of pressure against him today.
No. I mean, and contrast that with Tucker Kingsbury, who seemed to have a red jersey in his face pretty much most of the time, that he was trying to pass the football down the field. And just, that just speaks to the dominance of this Gregory Gorilla team on defense. They put up the big numbers offensively, but defensively, the Gorillas have been stalwart all year long.
So the Gorillas win their final 2 games of the season by identical 31-8 scores.
Yeah, kind of unusual there, but I'm sure the Gorilla fans will take that. They really dominated all season long. I mean, that's as close as anybody's got to them all year.
Indeed. I mean, they had 79-0 scores. They outscored everybody they played 424-42. That is just an amazing statistic.
Yeah, that just, and it's not like they played an easy schedule.
There you go.
They played some tough teams, but Gregory dominant this year as they become another team. They had an 11-man title. Now they have a 9-man title.
In just a few minutes, we'll be awarding the trophies, find out the Joe Robbie Award winner, and also the outstanding back and lineman of the game. We are done with 2 games of football. The first one, a 32-20 decision, and the second one now, 31-8, as we congratulate the state champions. The first one being, of course, Howard over Wolsey-Wessington, 32-20, and then our final here, a 31-8 decision. Let's go to Joe Van Gore, the public address announcer, and get the award presentation taken care of for this 9AA championship game. Hit it, Joe.
Football fans, may I direct your attention to the center of the playing field to present the awards to the 2014 runner-up and championship teams for Class 9AA football are Linda Whitney of Sanborn Central from the Board of Directors of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Assisting with the team awards presentation are representatives from the Activities Association corporate sponsors Craig Agnew from Sanford Health, Doug Bruckner from Farmers Union Insurance, and Staff Sergeant Jason Boehm of Huron from the South Dakota Army National Guard. First of all, the runner-up trophy, completing a 10-2 season, Coach Jason Kolosik and Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central Blackhawks. Congratulations, Blackhawks, on your season. And now, adding to their Class 11B championship in 1998, the 2014 Class 9AA champion, Gregory Gorillas, and their coach, Brian Almendinger. Gregory finishes with a record of 12-0. Football fans, the South Dakota High School Coaches Association has chosen an outstanding lineman and back of the game. Coach Tal Farnham from Elkton will be presenting these awards. The outstanding lineman for the 9AA championship game from Gregory, number 88, Gavin Thomas. And named as the 9AA outstanding back of the game from Gregory, number 15, Kurt Braun. Football fans, members of the media covering the championships picked the Joe Robbie Most Valuable Player Award. Representing the Vermilion Chamber and Development Company from Polaris is John Callahan. Our Joe Robbie MVP rushed 19 times for 96 yards, 5 of 10 passing for 93 yards. On defense, had 8 tackles and 1 pass breakup. From Gregory, number 15, Kurt Braun.
So the championship trophy awarded, the Joe Robbie and Outstanding Back and Outstanding Lineman awards handed out, the second place trophy given out as well, and just a good game of football. You really have to be impressed, Steve, with the way Gregory just came in and dominated throughout the contest.
Yeah, they took control of this game early, got that early field goal, and I tell you what, when they got that pick 6, that really put the Blackhawks in a pretty deep hole. Yeah. Let's send it down to the field. Standing by down there with the winning coach is Mike Hendrickson.
Congratulations, Coach. We talked before the game. You've been awful close the last couple of years. What was the difference in this team?
I think our defense, where our defense played all year, just shutting people down and giving, our defense, I think, was crucial in this game as well. Our offense did enough to win, I thought, but our defense is just stopping them, and they're a great team, don't get me wrong, but I think it was the defense this year that pulled us through and allowed us to be in this position.
Winter, Gregory, Cologne, Burke back in the day. Is there a stretch of highway in South Dakota where football means more than it does on Highway 18?
Highway 18, we're pretty proud of it, certainly. Yeah, I mean, you hear about Corn Belt conferences and different types of football conferences, and we think we're right there with them. We have some real good football teams come out of that area and football players, and yeah, we're pretty proud of that stretch of highway.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. There you go, Coach Brian Almendinger joining us here on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. We're back with more from the Dakota Dome after this timeout.
Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Championship event is brought to you in part by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Farmers Union Insurance, by SDN Communications, and by the Independent Insurance Agents of South Dakota. Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Sports Championship is underwritten by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Mid-Continent Communications, and by Dakota Bank.
Back inside the friendly confines of the Dakota Dome, very friendly for the Gregory Gorillas as they win the 9AA championship for 2014, defeating Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central by a 31-8 score. Gregory scoring early and shutting the door often on the Blackhawks. Let's take a look at some of those second half highlights for tonight. A confident group out there, and here is the first run. This is the Van Werf touchdown as he scores from a few yards out. The extra point attempt finding Vamachka all alone in the end zone.
Nice run here by Tucker Kingsbury, one of the few high points. Looked like the Blackhawks were moving the football down the field, but the drive stalled. Kingsbury under pressure. That time his pass was off the mark to Mesmer. This time the long pass downfield, tapped away, incomplete. And it's the Gregory Gorillas hosting the 9AA trophy.
Gregory finishes with a record of 12-0 on the season, 11-1, the final mark for the Blackhawks. And let's go to Mike Hendrickson visiting with one of the victorious Gorilla players. Mike, take it.
All right, we are here with Gavin Thomas. First of all, congratulations. I'm going to ask you one of the same questions I asked your coach. You guys have gotten awful close the last couple of years. What was the difference this year?
We were really determined this year. We practiced a lot harder, and we always went one more, running sprints in practice, and we put in a lot more work and more focus into practice, and it came through in the end.
Now, you guys have had great success in other sports too, baseball specifically, that sort of thing. How does that set you up for a game like this?
Well, it gets us going, because it's good that we can go in other sports and be good in other sports, and I don't know, it's I'm so pumped up.
Don't blame you. I'll let you go celebrate with your team. How's that sound? Congratulations.
Thank you.
You bet. Gavin Thomas joining us here on South Dakota Public Broadcasting, and he has a large crowd waiting for him, as you would expect. So, guys, let's send it back up to the booth.
Okay, we'll do that. Give Gavin a chance to catch his breath a little bit, and Mike as well. Dell Rapids and Madison coming up 7:30 Central Time tonight, 7 o'clock for the pregame programming.
You know, and Mike brought up a good point. Gregory's had so much success in other sports, baseball being one of them. When you're in a state tournament for baseball, that gets you in that championship mentality. I think that translates over, no matter if it's young men or young women playing. When you know what it's like to be on the big stage, well, great teams respond.
It becomes habit forming, and the habit continues for the Gorillas as they win the 9AA title. We will bring you final statistics and more when we come back in a couple of minutes to the Dakota Dome. Gregory, your 9AA champion. This is South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Two games in the books, congratulating Howard and Gregory as winners of championships. Howard getting the 32-20 win over Wolsey-Wessington for the 9A title earlier today. And our just completed 9AA contest, Gregory defeats Wolsey-Wessington played earlier. Not going to play twice. Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. 31-8 the final score, and here's a look at final stats, Steve.
First downs, Gregory had the advantage there at 15-8 in rushing yardage. Pretty even, 165 for Gregory on 40 carries, 27 rushes, 130 yards as a team for the Blackhawks. Passing yardage, 111-68 in advantage Gregory. 276 for the total offense for the Gorillas, 198 for the Blackhawks. Time of possession, 7-minute advantage there in favor of Gregory. Kurt Brown led the way today, 19 carries, 96 yards, averaged 5 yards a carry. Jonah Beck, 16 carries, 59 yards, and a score. He was the other top rusher for the Gorillas. Brown was 5 of 10 passing for 93 yards. Beck, the leading receiver, with a couple of catches on the day. Meanwhile, for the Blackhawks, Austin Mesmer had 11 carries for 95 yards, but except for that 60-yard run, he was bottled up a good chunk of the day. Landon Ochsner, 7 carries for 22 yards, and Tucker Kingsbury, 7 carries for 18 yards on the day. Kingsbury, 12 of 22 passing, no touchdowns, 1 interception, but just 68 yards. Mesmer, 5 catches for 30 yards. Leading tackler was Jacob Foberg for the Blackhawks. He had 12 tackles. Jade Vanderwerf, the freshman, leading the way with 8 tackles, along with Beck and Brown. They were the top 3 tacklers for the Gorillas.
31-8 the final score. Gregory wins the 9AA title. Our final break coming up. We'll wrap this one up. Busy afternoon, of course, at the Dakota Dome, and we'll be back after you watch this on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. The final once again from the Dakota Dome. Gregory defeats Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central, 31-8 the final score. The Gorillas with their second state championship. They've been to the Dome a few times, winning in 1998 in 11B and winning today in 9AA. That was 31-8. Once again, just about a complete football game for the Gorillas today.
Yeah, they got out in front and they kept the Blackhawks pretty much at arm's length and beyond pretty much the rest of the game. Great defense by Gregory all year long, and they got the job done today. Very workmanlike, very efficient fashion.
We are a long way from done here in Vermilion. The 11A championship game is going on tonight, 7:30 for the kickoff. Our pregame programming at 7 o'clock as St. Thomas, or I'm sorry, not St. Thomas More, it'll be Madison in action against Dell Rapids. St. Thomas More playing tomorrow, the second game of the day against Parkston. We will bring you Hamlin and Fulton in our first game tomorrow. And then the 11B contest in 11AA, Yankton and Brookings meeting for the first time this year, even though they're ESD participants. That will be the late game. And then the game for all the marbles in 11 AAA, Sioux Falls Lincoln and Sioux Falls Roosevelt. What I do is get close to the TV. Weather's going to be cold. You don't want to go anywhere anyway. Just pop the popcorn and watch some great high school football.
And it'll be all online as well at sdpb.org.
Before we leave, since 2007, Mariah Press and SDSportsHistory.com have provided South Dakota high school football records for the football championships. And you can follow the development of the sports records as the season progresses at SDSportsHistory.com. Help to continue to recognize the special performances by South Dakota high school athletes. Mariah Press and SDSportsHistory.com would like to thank Schoenemans for their continued support of our efforts. Again, 7 o'clock airtime, Central Time tonight, as you'll hear and watch the 11A championship game featuring Madison and Dell Rapids. That kickoff at 7:30. For our entire crew at the Dakota Dome, for Steve Toom and for Nate Weck handling all of the online stuff, I'm Gary Ellenbolt. Have a good rest of the day and a great weekend. You have been watching the South Dakota High School Football Championships on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Is Lena Braun. At this time, here is the starting offensive lineup for the Gregory Gorillas. At wide receiver, number 89, Mason Jurassic. At wide receiver, number 88, Gavin Thomas. At running back, number 2, Robert Bombaka. At running back, number 12, Sean Kapka. At running back, number 32, Jonah Beck. At quarterback, number 15, Kurt Braun. At guard, number 65, Dwayne Kerner. At center, number 73, Damon Eaglestar. And at guard, number 85, Matt Campbell. The head coach for the Gorillas is Brian Almendinger, assisted by Mike Murray, John King, and Dave Campbell. And now, the starting defensive lineup for the Blackhawks of Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. At defensive end, number 53, Brady Teedy. At defensive end, number 56, Garrett Larson. At nose guard, number 52, Chase Von Eye. At linebacker, number 23, Landon Oshner. At linebacker, number 5, Austin Messmer. At linebacker, number 48, Jacob Boberg. At linebacker, number 21, Jared Beshen. At defensive back, number 9, Tucker Kingsbury. And at defensive back, number 26, Cole Wormstadt. The Blackhawks are coached by Jason Kolosik, assisted by Corey Flatten, Ray Ginsbach, Mitch McLagan, Armando Rodriguez, and Cole Kaufman. Ladies and gentlemen, your officials, as assigned by the South Dakota High School Activities Association, the referee is Steve Rounds of Pierre. The umpire is John Burchell of Pierre. The linesman is Greg Rizloff of Pierre. The line judge is Chad Urich of Pierre. The back judge is Mark Ulrich of Hoban. And the alternate is Mark Gagme of Pierre. Fans, we direct your attention to the northwest part of the Dakota Dome, where repelling today's game ball is Sergeant Kleinsmith of the 211th Engineers Company of Madison. Sergeant Kleinsmith of the 211th Engineers Company of Madison. And now presenting the game ball and a ceremonial coin for Eklund for the championship game coin flip is Staff Sergeant Jason Bain of Huron and Sergeant Bill Souls of Gregory. The soldiers of the South Dakota National Guard salute today's players, coaches, and fans for exemplifying excellence in high school activities.
Coaches that lost their house, you know, and we had another player, one of our players, sophomore player, they've had to evacuate, leave their house. They had to live, you know, in a camper and stuff.
Governor Dugard came in and brought the South Dakota Army National Guard with him, and they closed the town down, and then they helped with all the cleanup, and when they left, our town was ready to be rebuilt again.
This neighbor's house might have been gone, but they were helping their neighbor pick up the pieces that were left from their homes. It was an unbelievable sight and kind of what I firmly believe is Wessington Springs.
Even those kids from Woonsocket and Sanborn that did not have maybe even ties besides knowing us, you know, they came over here and we did a couple of days of cleanup where we just walked in different places and cleaned up, and they were more than willing to help do that.
In all, there were around 50 homes and businesses directly affected by the June 18th tornado. Despite the widespread devastation, there were no casualties, just some bumps and bruises, which is directly attributed to the swift action of emergency responders.
We all call them the local heroes because they did so much prior to, during, and following the tornado that they are responsible for saving lives. A lot of really good things were done by a lot of really, really good people.
5 months later, homes and businesses have been rebuilt and others are under construction, which has helped with the healing process. On this night, the town wasn't thinking about that terrible evening in June. They came together once again to help support their football team.
In a small town, your high school teams are kind of what bring a community together.
And we are back. What a triumph of South Dakota spirit from Wessington Springs. Our thanks to Chad Anderson. In 1 minute, we'll bring you football from the Dakota Dome on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. The 9AA championship in the wings from the Dakota Dome. Football just a couple of minutes away. Let's get the party started with the public address announcer at the Dakota Dome, Joe Van Goor.
Football fans, once again, welcome to the Dakota Dome in Vermilion and the South Dakota Class 9AA State High School Football Championship game between the Blackhawks of Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central, and the Gorillas from Gregory High School. The South Dakota High School Activities Association and its corporate partners, Sanford Health, First Premier Bank, Premier Bank Card, First Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard supports good sportsmanship in all activities, remember that with good sportsmanship, everyone is a winner. Much too often, we are exposed to the examples of poor sportsmanship. That's why the South Dakota High School Activities Association is sponsoring a statewide effort to promote good sportsmanship in our schools. You can be part of this effort by displaying good sportsmanship during the state football championship game. At this time, let's introduce the cheerleaders for the Blackhawks of Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. Nisa Westby, Marina Parks, Dana Opsal, Michelle Sarda, Ashley Fry, Carolyn Groves, and Summer Schooler. The cheer coaches are Chelsea Wenzel and Kylie Pauley. And now leading cheers for the Gregory Gorillas, Jadisa Jones, Kristen Holmberg, Ann Stevix, Molly Schmidt, Bailey Beck, and Molly Gracer. The cheer coach.
From the Dakota Dome in Vermilion, welcome to coverage of the South Dakota High School Activities Association State Football Championship Weekend. If the other 6 games are anything like Game 1, this will be a weekend for the ages in South Dakota. Hello, everyone. A gracious good afternoon to you, along with Steve Toom. I'm Gary Ellenbolt. The Gregory Gorillas, unbeaten on the season, taking on a Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central Blackhawk squad with just 1 loss. That to a team that has already played in the state final. That would be the Warbirds of Wolsey-Wessington. The Gorillas have been a fixture in the state playoffs in the past, winning an 11-man title in 1997 and coming short over the past few years. But Brian Allmendinger bringing another very good team to the Dome, Steve.
Yeah, the Gorillas come in unbeaten, and they came in actually not as the number 1 seed, but the number 2 seed in the playoffs. And Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central came in with just that 1 loss, but they have cruised through the playoffs as well. And Arlington, who was the number 1 seed, they got bumped out in the second round of the playoffs. That kind of cleared the way for the Blackhawks, who have a very solid team in their own right. Should be a great game today between the Gorillas and the Blackhawks.
There is some history for both these coaches in the tournament. We'll tell you more after we take a break. We're about 20 minutes away from football here in Vermilion. You are watching South Dakota State High School Football Championships on member-supported South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Back at the Dakota Dome in Vermilion, a thrilling Game 1 of the 7-game weekend at the State Football Championships. It was the Howard Tigers getting the state title 32-20 in the 9A championship game over Wolsey-Wessington. A game where the defenses took over when a lot of people thought that the defenses would not take over, that it would be basically an offensive show. There you see Tucker Kingsbury warming up for the Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central Blackhawks. We will refer to them as Blackhawks most of the way here, as they wear the colors of all of the schools in the conglomeration. So their colors technically black, white, red, and blue. There you see the southeastern South Dakota location of Woonsocket and Wessington Springs and Forestburg. That's where the 3 schools are located. They still have their schools, but they co-op for football. 38 in Woonsocket, 46 in Wessington Springs and Sanborn Central, and their mascot, the Blackhawks. Since they didn't want to be the Rebels or the Wessington Springs or Woonsocket nickname, they had to pick one, and it was Blackhawks.
And they've had a solid year, coming in at 10-1. We mentioned their only loss came in the last game of the regular season. That to Wolsey-Wessington, a barn burner of a game at 44-42. But they beat Kimball White Lake. That was a playoff team. Rolled through their schedule, shut out Hitchcock-Tulare and Highmore Herald and Corsica Stickney 3 weeks in a row. And then again suffering that only loss at the end of the season. In the postseason, they defeated Platte Geddes Dakota Christian 60-16. Then it was Elkton Lake Benton 42-14. And Kimball White Lake, who they opened up the season with, they blanked them 32-0 in the playoffs to get here to the Dakota Dome.
Of years that there has not been a Selland involved in a Blackhawk state championship team. 4 or 5 graced the squad for girls basketball the past couple of seasons. Let's take a look at the Blackhawks and their 2014 season. Get to know the area a little better as we continue with our pregame programming from the Dakota Dome.
It was an exciting win for us. You know, the Blackhawk players, I think a year ago, we got knocked out of the playoffs by Kimball White Lake. And the guys that we had coming back, you know, they dedicated themselves and they didn't want that to happen again. And they started working last November, a year ago, in the off season and all through the winter and through the spring and through the summer. We had a really good summer with camps and workouts, and that work continued through the season. And it's just very gratifying to see all that work and see all those kids put all that work in, and then it pays off in this and a chance to go to the championship at the Dakota Dome. I think a lot of people, rightfully so, up to this point has probably thought about our #1 guy, Austin Messmer, and Austin Messmer is our #1 guy. You know, he's the main player. He can do a lot for us, and he did a lot for us tonight, and we wouldn't be here without him. You know, he's our leader, but I think we found out, you know, he can make some plays through the air, and I think we found out we got guys like Landon Ochsner and Tucker Kingsbury in the backfield and Jared Besham that are just as explosive. But it all starts with our line. You know, without our line, we wouldn't be where we're at. And you know, with Chase Von Eye and Garrett Larson and Brady Teedy, you know, those three linemen on defense, I mean, they controlled the game tonight, and they were the big reason we were able to get a shutout. Well, we don't know a lot about Gregory. You know, probably a little bit different than us. I think they like to spread it out a little bit more, throw it around a little bit, and they run a lot out of the spread. They have a lot of athletes, but you know, they got a really good program down there, and you know, they've been right in the thick of things for the past few years, and finally broke in to get to the Dome. So, you know, they're gonna be very athletic. It's gonna be a tough challenge, but I think our kids have proven we've been able to rise up to those challenges throughout this year. So we're looking forward to it, and it should be a great game.
There you get a look at the Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central Blackhawks. I always double clutch a little bit when we talk about all of the teams or all of the towns that make up this co-op football program. We're about 15 minutes away from getting started at the Dakota Dome. Gregory, the Gorillas, and the Blackhawks coming up. Let's take a break and continue with our pregame programming from Vermilion. You are watching coverage of the South Dakota High School Activities Association State Football Championships on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Sports Championship is underwritten by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Mid-Continent Communications, and by Dakota Bank.
Welcome back to the Dakota Dome. The final countdown, as you might hear, rocking through the dome on this Thursday afternoon. This will wrap up the Thursday afternoon session of the State Football Championships. The 11A game coming up tonight as the Dell Rapids Warriors and Madison Bulldogs will be meeting in a rematch of the first game of the season. There you see the quarterback, Kurt Brown, for the Gorillas, is putting on his helmet. Number 15 getting ready to go. Vomachka, another factor in the Gorilla offense as well. They have been here before. It has been a tradition-laden program, of course, in Gregory, South Dakota, right in the southern side of the state in Gregory County, not too far out of Winter. And there is their mascot, the Gorilla. We make their trip via that really impressive map. There is Gregory High School. They've been called the Gorillas ever since a football coach a long time ago said, our guys look like gorillas. 89 the enrollments, 9 through 11, and red and white the colors. They will be in all red with the red helmets and the red pants on this Thursday afternoon for the 9AA championship against the Blackhawks of Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. We've been able to put together packages on most of the teams here for the state football championship. You'll see Gregory's in a bit, but look at how they have run roughshod over most of their opponents, coming up with 3 shutouts in the season and nearly 5 as they had Scotland and Andy Central with 6 points each. Colombe and Avon scoring 8 points. Their playoff run like this, they defeated Clark Willow Lake, then defeated Lyman in the quarterfinal 59-0 and got a 31-8 win over Dual in the semifinal in Gregory. Brian Almendinger, the head coach, has also served with the National Guard in his time, and we thank him for his service. If you have been in the military with Veterans Day just a couple of days past, we thank you for yours as well. 424-42 is how Gregory has outscored its opponents in the season. And again, 3 shutouts in the regular season. They're big. They got a lot of things going on.
And let's find out a little bit more about the Gregory Gorillas.
We were able to establish a run game pretty well, and usually we hit a lot of home runs, on our offense, but last night was more of a ball control situation, and they played some great defense on us, and we're able to hit a couple big ones there, and we gave up an early touchdown, and fell behind 8-0, but the kids come back and did a tremendous job shutting down probably one of the best running backs in the state, one of the best, in that Lance ID from Dual. It was all around, it was a very good game. Well, Kurt Brown, our quarterback, we always depend on him to run our offense. But, to be honest, every week, it seems like there's, about 10 different guys that do something during the point of the game. And it has been a true team effort all year. Kurt running the offense at quarterback is obviously critical, but, just a ton of guys, offensive line has to do their job, and receivers have to run good routes and make good blocks. And Jonah Beck, has got to run well, and we have to take care of the football. We're 11-0 right now, going into the championship game, and kind of clicking on all cylinders, really, the offense and the defense as well. Just playing phenomenal, and special teams as well. So, we've got one more. We have a great group of seniors this year, and they've just been a pleasure to coach and be around. It's been fun. I know they're a really good football team as well. I mean, they have the Kingsbury kids up there, and really good players at Messmer kids, really good players as well. Big, physical. So we're expecting a very good game, and certainly have our work cut out for us. But it's a championship game, so you would expect nothing less out of that. So it should be fun.
Head coach Brian Almendinger of the Gregory Gorillas. We'll take a quick break and come back with more of our pregame programming from Vermilion on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Back at the Dakota Dome, getting ready for the 9AA Championship. One of the communities in the Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central School District has really been through the ringer in 2014. A devastating tornado, and they're kind of using the football team as a rallying point to feel better about things from the aftermath of the tornado. Our Chad Anderson put together a package on the tornado and the efforts in the Blackhawks. Let's watch.
Last Saturday night, on a crisp November evening, the Blackhawks from Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central advanced to the 9AA championship game by defeating the Wildcats from Kimball White Lake. That moment was more than a victory on the football field. It was a chance for a community to forget the devastating tornado that passed through the town just 5 months earlier.
And we just kept listening to the radio, and all of a sudden you hear a tornado just crossed Highway 34, it's going to be a hit, and then the power went out.
It was one of the worst experiences I've ever had.
You could hear things moving above you and think glass shattering, and that was the scariest part.
It was complete devastation. It was, debris all over, a lot of unknown factors.
All of the people were outside, they were milling around. and everyone was dazed and stunned.
The block next to me, houses were gone. The other way, houses were mangled. Our house, windows, glass everywhere.
We had two coaches